Yo, yo, yo. Welcome back to Crazy Bowl TV. Thank you so very much joining me. And of course, guess who I have in the building? People don't understand how hard I had to get this gentleman here. It's not easy to get him. You have to talk to his people, and his people have to talk to their people, and their people have to talk to their people before it gets to him. So you guys understand. The man, the only, the kennel. How you doing, sir?
Oh shit, that was all about me.
Yeah, it's all about you. I'm giving you a big entrance, brother. I'm giving you a big entrance. Oh, big up to the boy Fuzzy, man. Big up, big up, big up. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Oh, that's funny.
I'm saying, anyway, I appreciate it. I know what you said. Because I thought you were talking about some other people.
No, I'm telling people.
But anyway, I'm pretty sure it's calm.
It's
It's calm. I appreciate it. But
Big
yeah,
up
now I
yourself.
saw your message and I'm
Mhm.
like, yeah, it's one of them days. I'm like, yeah, all right, it'll be today. Plugging myself back in. So I'm not saying I'm back on any spaces, but
Yeah.
like the YouTube thing. If I'm around, I'll be around, and probably should see more of me, man. Seasons, and you know what I'm saying, it's around the
Yeah.
corner. So yeah, you should see a bit more of me, man. Football is back. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So
Yes.
yeah, when football takes a break, I'm not saying I take a break, but
Yeah. But you need to relax a little bit. Yeah.
you not relax, but you need to do your life. You know what I'm trying to say?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, new season's coming in. People's asking for improvement. Well, in the off season, improve your life.
You know, people tend to forget. They just
You know
go
what I'm
straight
saying?
back in. They bring
Like
the
think
old
about it.
season back in.
Yeah, players are coming back. Everybody's coming back, and
Mhm.
you want them to come back bigger and better. But you're the same old guy from last season complaining in some dead basement in that, bro.
You know what I mean?
You need to bring your thing
Elevate.
up as well. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir. Now, that's why we tell people you can't say we need this, we need that, and okay, why you bring it?
Yeah, calling out people's ambition.
Yes.
And you have no proof or record of your own ambition.
That is that. I think that word we need to tackle it today, and I'm glad you used that word because I'm trying to figure out what does ambition means when football fans bring it. Because last time I know my brother Ensman, shout out to Ents, and he's like, ambition is not just buying players. Ambition is also bringing the kids from the academy to through because that's what you will get more kids to come through the academies. You don't just buy. It's not just ambition, just you wasting money. So if Jabari, if you were say ambition, you use the word ambition, what does it mean to you? Take your time. Take your time.
I'll die on this hill, and here's why I'll die on this hill. I think Wale but I think it's on Wale's album, Ambition with Rick Ross and Meek Mill. I'm trying to see if someone else was on it, but I think that's it. But it's on Wale's album.
Yeah.
It's a song called Ambition. And since that song dropped, every year when I'm improving, that song has been part of that improvement. Like
Right.
It's on every gym that I've attended and made a playlist for that specific workout routine. That song has been a part of it. Some of my morning meditations in the past, that song was definitely like the anthem. Pre-game, you know, you're about to go into a game and you're trying to get up for it. Ambition has always been it. There's been like a lot of late nights where I'm really grafting, working on some project, and that song is actually in the background. And the line that I really like, man, it says, ambition is priceless. It's something that's in your vein. But people trying to put a price on ambition. So I don't quite get where they come from with that. But so for me, that's what ambition is. Ambition can't be measured. So when people trying to measure it, it's like people trying to measure the oxygen level in the air that we breathe, or measure how many H to the 2 to the O is in water. And it's like, bro, allow it. Just know it's good for your body. Just allow it. Just know it's good. You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
So when people question ambition, it's like, bro, if you have to question ambition, your argument and your stance and your points is baseless because you question something that can't even be measured.
Quantified. Yep.
You see what I'm trying to say? You can't quantify someone's ambition. That's like me saying, yo, I don't think Quasi's faith is on 100%. Faith is a personal thing between you and whatever you believe in.
Right.
Try to come in with the tape measure and measure that. Like, Quasi's faith is 6 inches short. It's not for me to measure. So your ambition, I can't measure it, Quasi.
Yeah.
You can't measure my ambition either. So I can't say, yo, Quasi don't have enough ambition for me.
Yeah.
Quasi's ambition isn't for me. So I hope that explains it. I'll die on that hill. Ambition is priceless. It's something that's in your veins, bro. And I can't measure what's in your veins.
Yeah.
It's not just blood that's in your veins. Think about that now. So if you think ambition is all about money, it's not just about money. It's more to it than money. So
with me, excuse me, with me, ambition is one, like you said, it's in you. 2, consistency. 3, the part where it's like, I don't know, I just want to be better and better. With me, I don't put ceiling. When I train people, it's like, don't say sky is the ceiling. No, when you get there, you break that ceiling, you keep going. You can't, just say
Quasi.
You see what I mean? You keep
man.
You keep going because, and I will reference with what you said. You can't put a tape on it because if you put sky's the limit, you put a tape on it.
Well, within reason, because that's how you ended up out in space and floating off beyond Pluto. Like, there's a reason, there's a cap. Some places we're meant to go. So you're conflating 2 different things. The sky is the limit for a reason. We don't need to be floating out into nothingness. You know what I'm trying to say? To prove what? That the sky wasn't the limit? Nah, the sky is the limit. Be content on Earth, man. That's why we don't have wings, man. But I'm sorry. Continue.
Big up to K-Mac. He's in the building. K-Mac, how you doing, sir?
I'm good. How's everyone today?
Good, man.
We're all going to have another meltdown about Trent.
Oh, we've seen Trent is showing some pictures, man. My man is fit. He seems more like a American football player than a regular football, man. He's working out in LA right now in that LA sun. But people in the chat, please share, subscribe, and like. We just did a quick detour because they cannot bring a very good word that we needed to try to see if we could quantify it because we hear it all the time. But please share, subscribe, and like. Don't forget the notification bell. We are almost at 300 people. I think we are 8 away. So, and today is the 28th. So 3 more days. Within 3 days, we need to get to 300. That's the goal. And then you guys also know that 21 likes is the goal for each video, and everything above it is bonus so that I can take my kids to a better restaurant. Big up yourself. If you are in the building, if you're watching the show, please comment later. All we ask is just respect. Today we got a great show. I promise you today we got a great show. There's a question here. Zubair, you want to answer that one for honesty?
Question. Honesty. Okay, honesty. Got it. Some fans.
I thought you said, "Are you going to question this honestly?"
No. I was reading it and then I saw the name. And I was like, oh, it's honesty. Because obviously I'd want to know who's asking the question. Because if I read it and it's stupid, I just didn't want to shoot man for no reason. So I had to make sure. Nah, big up honesty anyways. Big up, man. Question. Some fans question Klopp. I'm assuming that's Klopp. Was the one running the club, not FSG. So why are they saying FSG should have backed Klopp since Klopp was running the show? Surely he knew what he wanted. Honesty, I'm gonna be honest with you. You see that question there? It's kind of one of those things where you're not gonna be able to get the truth. I'm gonna be honest. It's you're going into murky waters with like the government and why they go to war, and you're climbing down that rabbit hole of whether the earth was flat, because then if you said it's round, you're gonna meet the secret group within that group of people that said it was round that says nah, it's really flat, and then you find out Asgard is real and there's an ice wall, and you're going down dog era because when Klopp was here, they wanted Klopp to run the show. Right. Because they said he deserved it based on the way he resurrected the sleeping giant. Klopp did end up running the show and had the stinkiest time of his stint here.
2 years.
And then they said, no, that's because of FSG. But then there's like, well, why did Edwards leave? It wasn't because of FSG. It was because he wanted to move players on. Klopp wanted to keep certain players. I would say move certain players on. Some people was like, no, it's too nostalgic. Let Klopp keep his players because Klopp have never kept his players in. Now that Klopp is gone, people are like, oh, well, FSG should have backed him some more. And it's like, bro, Klopp didn't even want the players you guys wanted.
Right.
And I remember the key point, and I said it this morning on Ensman Chill Zone. When Salah, Bobby, and Mane was our front three, a lot of the big names didn't want to come here because as a player, they looked at our team and go, there's no freaking way I'm getting in that. Let's not forget that key point. A lot of players looked at the team and said, I can't get in there. So even if Klopp or the club wanted the player was like, bro, I'm not coming in there fighting because I know I have to fight tooth and nail to get into that. That's the type of team Klopp built, and it's to his credit. It's to his credit.
Yeah.
Werner didn't want to come here, and Werner was a bad boy leaving the Bundesliga. He didn't want to come here because he knew he had to fight tooth and nail. Which player would want to have to come into something so great? So it's not just solely FSG, it's not just solely Klopp, and it's not just solely the team. It's also a testament to the players you fans wanted. Right. They didn't have the mettle to come here and fight for a spot.
Yes,
they gave up on that. So when you're blaming FSG for not getting the player himself didn't want to come over here. And that's just tested. Real. It was only Kamak. If I'm wrong, and I've been wrong before. There was only a certain caliber of player that was willing to come here because they know they're going to have the whole bench. There was no first team guy saying, I'm turning up the input and Hendo on the bench.
Right.
Some man wasn't even trying to challenge Hendo. Let that honesty.
That's
right. Yourself for that question, but I hope that answer put it into perspective for you. Because some man was afraid to challenge Hendo for his position in that Liverpool team. Even Milner, some man knew they couldn't even outshine Milner. So it's not FSG's fault, bro. Go look at all the players you wanted that didn't have the guts to challenge a man like Genie. I didn't even give you 3 top names right there. So, but
there's 2 caveats to that as well. And I'm not going down the murky waters of the Edwards Klopp, falling out and all that kind of stuff. I'm not going to even go into that. But there's 2 caveats to put into that as well. FSG weren't even in the country when Jurgen had those couple of years in charge. Like Mike Gordon and any of those guys and Billy Hogan and that, they weren't even in England. Like they were over in the US still. So
no, they
had like
that Bournemouth game. Remember that Bournemouth game when they
came back twice, didn't they? Yeah. But then things changed. We suddenly went inverted.
No, that Bournemouth game.
I'm not going down that road, mate.
9-0. Wait, didn't we beat Bournemouth 9-0 in that game when they came over?
Yeah,
that was the 9-0. So FSG turn up, man, just dropped 9-0.
Right. Exactly.
But the other thing as well was, and this is on the flip side, and this is the caveat that you were saying, no one would come because they knew they couldn't get in. But Edwards wanted to get rid of those to get new blood in to replace them, and that would never happen. So we ended up in a situation where players just got old and stale. Like, unfortunately, unfortunately, that's just the way it was.
Yeah,
and we suffered because of it. And to a certain extent, I genuinely feel like the club went backwards for a while. And now we're back on level footing maybe, and now we're going to push forward again. But we could have been in a different place now. Like, it's quite frustrating.
No, it is, because I tell people, sorry to catch you off, apology, but I've told people for 2 years. 2 years we were stagnant for 2 years, and then Arsenal overtook us.
It wasn't 2 years. 2 years is when we saw
it was longer than 2 years.
Yeah. The reason, and it's not like nitpicking. I'm not sure if this is like the intention of your show, Quasi, but because I don't really want to keep harping on it. But
we will move on to the next. Yeah.
But when you say the 2 years, though, you have to realize the year Thiago came in, it wasn't getting the best Thiago.
No.
But because we have that nostalgic vibe of who Thiago was, we
Right.
kind of accepted it. Like, wow, a player like Thiago signing for Liverpool,
Mhm.
but it's not in his prime. So then it still kind of fit that stagnant mold of,
Mhm.
bro, no one up and coming was willing to come here and battle Anderson and them man for the midfield. And we're talking about giving, bro, a lot
Yeah.
of fans was talking about giving Naby a chance and
Mhm.
when Ox come back. So what I'm trying to show you now is the Naby and the Ox thing
Mhm.
relying on injured defenders, because the season when we had no defenders, people are like, why didn't FSG? Bro, Klopp
Mm.
never wanted to replace those guys because they were injured. So Klopp's loyalty,
Fuck
which
up with them.
it has a positive and its negative effect, but
Mhm.
the loyalty to the injured players is really the start of our downfall. And it just kind of culminated in those 2 years that you're talking about.
Mhm.
But being loyal to players, it's good and bad. But the thing is, for the sake of result, we shouldn't have been as loyal as we were to some of those players. And that have nothing to do with FSG. I think it more so has to do with like Klopp and Edwards, because moving them on would have been the smart thing to do. Klopp held on to them. Some people were saying it was smart of Klopp to do that, to build relationships versus winning trophies.
Yeah.
I don't want to talk about that. But,
Mhm.
you know, it's we can't then say if the new man Slot, if he doesn't win the Prem in 4 years, it's because FSG failed and Klopp was the
Yeah.
one. Like people have to realize there was a
Different
4-year
time.
drought of trophies when Klopp was there. Like it didn't happen overnight,
Right.
and it happened his way, and he promised it in 4 years.
Mhm.
But should a manager really be coming and getting 4 years?
Mhm.
I guess that's the big question. I mean, it's
Well,
impressive
the
what
thing
he's
about
done.
the thing about that as well, Zuberi and Quasi, is Arteta's done 5.
Mhm.
Arteta's done 5. Arsenal have got a better team than us. Arsenal have had a better team than us for about 2 years, and he's done 5 years, and he can't get there. So for us to then sit there and go, oh, you know what, he wants to be challenging in like next year or the year after,
Yeah.
like he needs more players. He needs some really good players, and I think this pre-season's gonna be a stark contrast for a few players in that team who have managed to coast their way around for a
Mhm.
number of years.
Yeah, but you have to give him the season
Yeah,
to
you have
really
to.
weed
You
him
have
out.
to.
Yeah, so
But I do think this pre-season Slot's going to go, you know what, left-sided, left back, not good enough. Left-sided midfield, I think we will need someone there. I also feel for a lot of the older players who never
Mhm.
got given a good enough chance by Klopp, because I feel like a lot of them have got too much of Klopp's
DNA.
indoctrination into how they play.
wait, who are you talking about specifically?
I'm
Because
talking about Curtis Jones now. I'm talking about Harvey Elliott.
older players is Curtis
Yeah,
Jones.
Canate. Honestly, I
Bro,
really
none of
feel
these
for
men are
them.
25. What are you talking about,
No,
older
I
players?
mean, I really feel like it's going to be really difficult for them to be able to adapt to the way Slot plays. You can already see it on the pitch. You've only played 2 games, and you can see that they look
Wait, you
like
saw
they
both
can't
games?
cope. They can't cope with changing the way they play.
No, I think they'll be all right. When I say
I hope
be all
so.
right, when I say
I hope
be all
so.
right, I'm talking about for this first season. Should we then say, not to put a number on it, but whatever they produce this
Mhm.
season, minutes wise, appearance, availability, going into next season, I think is where it'll really matter. To judge them so
Mhm.
heavily off the start of this. But I hear what you're saying, you know, but when you said older players, the reason why I asked for names is
No, not all. Not all. Not all.
yeah, so, but I get what you're saying now. Some of the players that's been here for
Mhm.
I would say 3 to 5 years, and both
Yeah.
of those names fit that 3 to 5 years. Yeah, I hear what you're saying. I hear what you're saying. I would still give them the season though.
Oh no,
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
100%. Yeah.
And I mean, since we're talking about the prison, I'm assuming both you guys watched the game.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
didn't see the
I enjoyed the
behind
game.
closed doors game though. I only saw
No,
the
that
one.
one I think I only saw the highlights. There was somebody put a highlight on Twitter. It just
I
showed.
I can't watch those games when there's like no stadium. It's really weird.
Yeah, the camera is very hard to see what.
Yeah, and it's
Because the
just
camera
green.
was on the
It's
side.
just
It
green
was,
grass. You don't know where the edge of the pitch is, really.
yeah, the
All
camera.
Like,
right,
where are they?
Mac, we get it. You've been privileged, bro. You don't know what third
Yeah,
world
sorry.
countries is. No, that is HD quality right
I'm like,
there.
is the guy on the wing there, or was he like, was he in the centre? I can't tell. I can't see the lines.
Trust
But
me,
Yeah, I'm
I know we were doing a little bit of comparison, and there's something that even I don't know if it was Curtis Jones, but one of the players said this. From what I've been seeing, the videos and going to Liverpool YouTube channels and watching what Mr. Slot is doing right now,
Mhm.
it reminds me when Klopp first got to Liverpool, where he was very hands-on. Right? You could see him with the players, him and Buvac, they were in the
There you go.
mix.
That's the guy you said.
Who?
That's the guy that was really hands-on.
Oh, Buvac?
Yeah.
But Quasi, I don't know where you're coming from with this.
No,
Right.
I'm gonna land with this. So
Okay.
I don't know what I'm not sure. One of the players said this
It's Jones.
preseason
It's Jones.
is Jones. This preseason looks more organized than some previous ones that they've gone to, where they felt like it was kind of rash. Like things were not really properly organized for them. It was like, okay, this is what we're gonna do. Now here's the season, right?
Well, Jones is also immature, and that's why when K-Mac mentioned his name, I was struggling to understand why Jones was deemed as the older player, but then K-Mac put it in the right context.
Yeah.
You have to understand, Quasi, 2020 to 2022 COVID settings. Like,
Right.
think about what I'm trying to say to you. Then 2023, we're recovering from like some of the knock-on effects of COVID and restructuring back things. And now we're here. What I'm trying to say to you is Jones is an idiot because he's speaking as if nothing happened. You see what I'm trying to say? Like, like the football as Jones know it, bro, is COVID and post-COVID.
Right.
Think about what I'm saying, bro. Jones hasn't been kicking ball 3-4 years before COVID. I mean, he has, but not like at that level. So when he really came in, that's where he came in at. You see what I'm trying to say? Yeah. So for him to say that, and then for us older fans or more mature fans to hear that, we can't just not think about how out of place that comment is.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? You remember some of the preseasons was there's 2 pieces to the preseason. There's a game and a shootout. Also, the American preseason they had, that was also before COVID. So it's the first time coming back to America, bro. America ain't got time for you to be doing no last minute. We're very organized over here, bro. It's a business. You're using stadiums that we're using for other events. These aren't out and out football stadiums. Some of them aren't. So what I'm trying to say is if you're coming over here, bro, it's gonna be very organized. So I don't think Jones has really experienced what organized soccer or football really looks like everywhere around the world. Man, bro, it's a little kid, bro, from Liverpool, I'm assuming. He doesn't know what it's like on this side of the world with football. So I don't even think he was a part of that American preseason before.
The first one, no.
So what I'm trying to show you is how out of place his comment is. So for anyone hanging on to that, like, yo, he just doesn't know. You see what I'm trying to say? He doesn't know what organized on that. Has he been to a World Cup? Has he been to a Euros? Like Jones isn't really. No, but what I'm trying to say at this level.
You're absolutely right, though.
At this level, we can't take Jones' word for like this is what football should be. And Jones said it's the most. He's still a kid. He still got dust in his eyes. You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
So, and I'm not blowing him off. I'm just trying to say when we're taking certain things from the fans, we have to understand. Like I told K-Mac just now, when he said older players and mentioned Jones, I laughed, bro. Bro, I'm not taking Jones' word on what football is to more than face value. He only played for one club. He only knows one like home stadium.
Yeah.
He only knows one set of fans. His perception on football is skewed, bro.
True.
He doesn't know what it's like going to certain places. He only knows about where Liverpool brings him. And guess what? He only knows about 2 managers, Jurgen and this one. So what he said, bro, means nothing to me because he doesn't have the right experience to speak about these matters, and that's what happened when you give the wrong person the mic. Would have given,
I would
you
have
know,
given Harvey Elliott. I would have given Harvey Elliott more than him, by the way.
I
He comes across more mature than him,
more
and
mature.
he's like 2 years younger than him, which is crazy.
But Harvey's worked with different managers, is the point
Yeah.
I'm trying to say. Curtis only knows Klopp. So for him to go from Klopp to Slop, and then he was like, yo, this is more, bro, you've only known 2 managers in the entire, like, at this level. You only know 2, bro. And some of your preseason was in an unorganized world. So how could you then listen? If it's the best you've experienced, I'm happy for him because that tells me also that the environment is good. So
yeah,
I'm glad he's gotten that. You know what I mean? But it's
No,
not
I
as
mean-
bad as Ronaldo talking about, you know,
Everybody
Old
is.
Trafford facilities
Yeah.
where you can be like, this guy's used to stuff, so that must be bad. Curtis
Mhm.
ain't used to nothing, man. You know what I mean?
What, Steve? Why are you mad at FSG, man? Jeez. But anyway, this is the thing that I wanted to also press on. Looking at the game, I know Liverpool fans, a lot of Liverpool fans are very excited, and this is I mean, the game. Let's be honest, they're still rusty. They're trying to figure it out, right? I like what I saw. I'm
Me too.
thinking that I
Me
like
too.
what I saw. I was like, if this guy gets it running, Liverpool's going to be a problem. And you could see it from
Did you
even
know-
the
you-
rival fans. Even the rival fans are looking at it like, oh, okay, they're going to be a problem. But this is what I was going to say.
Yeah.
Players who have technical ability are going to love Slot.
Yeah.
Even your boy, Gravenberch, hey, Mike, because everybody's giving Trey loving. But when you look at the way Trey plays, you'll be like, we got it in some shape or form. We have it in Gravenberch. But talk about the game that you saw against Betis.
So what I find quite unbelievable, by the way, is he's had the guys together for about 2 weeks, maybe 3 weeks on the training pitch. He's missing 8 first team players straight off the bat who go straight into the first team, by the way. And there's a couple of subs in there as well. So there's more. It felt like, honestly, it felt like I was watching Brighton play. Did it not feel like it was like watching Brighton play? It was like, we've got the ball. You come at us. We'll get it past you. We'll go past you. No long balls. No diagonals. No just hoofing the ball for no reason, like which happened so many times under Liverpool. No passing the ball around the defenders willy-nilly, putting ourselves under pressure. It was the midfield were controlling the game, and the midfield were taking on the responsibility to hold the ball and making the space for the left side and the right side, who played really wide, like chalk on their boots, and support from the left and the right back, which makes me think that if Trent stays, he's going to play right back and have a good time playing that role. I don't think we've got enough on the left side, by the way. I think we definitely need investments on the left hand side. And just looking at the way we played, when they have the ball and they come at us, instead of trying to win the ball ridiculously high on the halfway line, which puts us in all kinds of peril, loads of pressure, loads of stress on the team, we drop back into a 3, and the left-sided player comes in as a centre back, and then we compress the play, and then they have to bring the ball into the centre, and we then win the ball back and then come back out again. And you know, it's a work in progress right now, but I can definitely see progress, and I can see a plan in where we're going and what we're going to do. I mean, that's the first time I've ever seen Liverpool play without a striker. We literally didn't have a striker. I know we didn't have a striker to play, but we played with Szoboszlai as the false 9, and it worked. And then when Blair came on, he played pretty much a bit higher up, which makes you think that when we have Nunes or Jota, it will be more of a striker type player. But I liked what Salah was doing because he tried a lot of combinations, and if it wasn't for just like I don't know, maybe a 5-yard, bit more clinical passing. Bradley would have been in, Salah would have been in, bit better finishing. Bradley might have scored.
Yeah.
Szoboszlai might have got a second. It looked really good. We look weak in the DM, but not really a DM. It's not really a DM. We don't play with a DM, but we look weak on the left-hand side of midfield. Curtis Jones wasn't good enough. Endo wasn't good enough in that. Endo was terrible in that game. Endo for me looked like he won a raffle. It literally looked like, here you go, mate. Do you want to come on and play for half an hour? Like out the stands. Everything bounced off him. His pace was off. He couldn't get near players. He messed up in the penalty area about 3 times where they could have scored. Most of their chances came from Endo, by the way, and also Kostas Tsimikas. Kostas Tsimikas can't play that role. Like he's just not technically good enough. He hasn't got a good pass on him enough, and he hasn't got enough pace for him to get back if he does give the ball away. So I think we do need to invest in that area, and it's looking really obvious now. But for me, I'm really excited to see what Liverpool do next season under Slot. I really am.
Yeah, and Zubair, when you're answering it, can you also kind of hit the point where Sleepy Forest said, because I think he's somewhat correct.
No, I think I'm gonna be honest, bro. I was trying to keep it 100, but then that comment also tied in some of the things you were saying and doing. So it's like the undertone of you and that guy. I won't say all the fans, but you and that guy have this undertone of removing some of the good things that we did on the club, and then it's trying to poke holes in it now because we're under Slot. It makes no sense. Playing out from the back, we've always played out from the back. So how is it we're gonna go from, we're gonna make mistakes playing out from the back now? Well, we've always played out from the back. That's the whole purpose of getting Alisson, because Mignolet and Karius couldn't do that. That's the whole purpose of praising Alisson and Edison, because that's now the way we play. To say, we play like Brighton. Brighton played like us. So it's crazy to give that credit to Brighton.
We never played like Brighton under Klopp, mate.
Bro.
Mate, you need to check how many long balls we did. How many Hollywood passes we tried.
K-Mac.
Brighton don't play Hollywood or long ball.
K-Mac.
Never.
K-Mac, respectfully, I'll let you talk, bro.
Okay.
And what I'm saying is factual. The only 2 teams that played from the back was Liverpool and City. Brighton joined the fold. Am I wrong? Yes or no? Am I wrong?
That's the truth. That's what everybody's
am I wrong?
That.
No. It's a yes or no question. I don't need you to elaborate. You said what you said. I'm trying to say what I'm saying. You call bullshit before I even finish. So I just have to ask the question. The only 2 teams that played from the back, City, Liverpool, Brighton joined the fold. Yes or no?
Not over the last couple of years, no.
What do you mean not over the last couple of years, bro?
You know what? All right,
we've
gone long.
Hold your opinion. All right, no. Hold your opinion. Let me finish say what I'm saying, and you can come and rebuttal it later. Because clearly the yes or no was too difficult. What I'm trying to say is Brighton play it in a more risky manner where I don't care what happened, keep going this way. I don't care what happened, this is how we're going. Brighton don't have any outlets. Remember this word, outlet. The reason why we look like we played like Brighton, Salah is 5'8", Elliott is like 5'5", Carvalho is 5'5". The only tall guy up there was Szoboszlai. Why would we ping ball up there? There's no reason to ping ball up there. We ping ball up there 2 times to Carvalho, didn't quite work. One of them to Szoboszlai. Szoboszlai gets it, knocks it down. What I'm trying to show you is the team didn't set up to go that route, so you can't say we're playing like Brighton. There's no reason for that long ball over the top. You're not trusting Carvalho to run in off the left off a diag anyway. And he made a few of those runs as well in that preseason game and did not get the ball. Kwanzaa actually sprayed 3 passes in that game. It was actually set up for that, but the way Betis set up, it wasn't really on. I don't know if that's how Slot wants to play or that's just how the game went on, bro. But we didn't play like Brighton. We've always played like that, always using Alisson. The only difference between this game and previous game, whenever we give Alisson the ball, he doesn't bop it around. He stands on it. Kelleher never stands on it. So that's why it looks different. We never stands on it. We just keep passing it around, and that's why it looked like Brighton. But remember, bro, we started it first. Brighton followed it, and Brighton do it in a way risky manner where they bring the team onto them. 100% bring them onto them. But you know what Brighton doesn't have? An outlet. If they had an outlet, they'll be using it. They don't have one. Who's Brighton's outlet? You can't tell me who's Brighton. They don't have one. And in this game, we didn't have an outlet. We don't have a striker. So you can't say we play like Brighton, bro. We've always played that way, building out from the back. It's more possession based. I can see the combos he was doing. I love most of them. I wouldn't say all the chances that they got came from Hendo. Bro, if you're on the pitch and you try to tackle a guy, you won the ball, but you lose your balance and the team runs onto that, that's not something you quite crucify. Their big opportunity came. Endo wasn't on the pitch. Wasn't on the pitch. The game finished 0-0. You can't crucify man in a not 0-0, but with a clean sheet. You can't crucify man. Mistakes are gonna happen in the game. Did they capitalize? No.
You want him to make a mistake now because
so what I'm trying to say is the things that you guys are magnifying. Okay, you can do that. It's your prerogative. But the things you're magnifying, like playing out from the back, a better six, a better left center back type of guy. There was no evidence of any of that. Like we needed that in the game. The game didn't cry out for that. Like I said, we still won. For me, my focus will be the calmness of both goalkeeper playing out from the back. That was a plus. So the sleepy guy that was worried about playing out from the back, both goalkeeper gave me confidence that we're good. Allison holds the ball too long and invites people onto him the way Brighton invites people onto them, which is risky, way more risky than the two keepers I saw in that game. Salah, no shot on target, one slipper shot that flew high and wide. That's more of a concern. Not saying Salah is a concern, but the attacking play was more of a concern because defensively we were good. Defensively we were solid with two random names, not random. One of them was random. Sepp had a good game. Kwanzaa had a good game. The Pier defensively was very solid. Bro, the team looked out for each other very well. I thought everyone in the middle of the park with the pressing was quite on it. Elliott wasn't an outlet. Carvalho wasn't an outlet. So we look one-sided once again. You mentioned the left side looking weak. I think it's more down to Carvalho being on that left-hand side. He did track back a few times. Maybe once I saw him. The second time he tracked back, but it wasn't quite there in time. So the left side, I think it wasn't weak because of the defender or the left side left back. It was more so the people on the left. Elliott was left side 8. Carvalho was left side wing or whatever he was. That wasn't quite working. So then that left a lot of pressure on, I'm going to say, Jones, who was roaming around in the box till Trey came on. And Trey was more next to Endo and keeping that balance going. So I would think it's more of an indictment on Elliott and Carvalho on that left side.
That side,
They weren't offering anything, K-Mac. So if you watch the link up and how the triangles were set up, they weren't really offering much. Like I think Sabazalai got a ball damn near on the line, took it down beautifully. Bradley was there in a heartbeat to help him. Simicast had one marauding run forward. I think he held it a little bit too long. It's preseason. I can't really crucify him for stuff like that. You know, like I said, some of the combos didn't work. I felt like Sabazalai and Elliott should have been switched, but maybe Salah was thinking, I've seen what Elliott and Salah does. I want to see Elliott with someone else. And Elliott can't cut in on the right for nothing. For him to go right, he has to turn 360 on the left. That is a limitation we don't need. And I think that was his problem. If he gets the ball back facing to goal, he can only turn into the field. That's not something you want to do if you're on the left. You want to be able to have your options. So I think Elliott being limited, Carvalho being isolated, he was just standing next to the fullback the whole time. Wasn't really an outlet. So it's just some little things that I don't want people to like overlook and just push the agenda like a 6 was needed. A 6 wasn't needed in the game. We came in, they get their big opportunity from going man to man, and the guy that ran from the left passed through the middle. I don't know if I should blame it on communication or just tracking your runner, but the center backs had someone they were picking up, and that guy just ran through the middle. So Endo wasn't at the pitch on the time. I think it was more and then Besechik.
Yeah.
None of them followed that guy in. So that's how that guy went in and forced a great save from the Yaros guy, or, you know, Arius, whatever Savage called him. But I just want to break down the patterns of play to let you know in that game, that was the only thing we would need to tighten up. When going man for man, you have to follow the man. You know what I mean? Even if you're a center midfielder, you end up as the last man in defense. So be it. That's why we need guys who are adept defensively or offensively and just know football. Like Kwanzaa ended up on an underlap to the byline.
I saw that one. Yeah.
So what I'm trying to show you is Kwanzaa is actually showing qualities of a baller. He knows that what was required in that moment, and he kept with it. He didn't go and stop. So for our defenders, our midfielders, and our attackers, K-Mac, that is what you should be measuring. The ability to know, okay, this guy is going in, I'm going to have to go with him, because their striker had nothing to do all game. That guy that got the shot, he wasn't a striker. So who was Real Betis striker? You don't know, because one of them is in Kwanzaa's pocket. The other one is in Sepp Vandenberg's pocket.
I thought Sepp was good.
Really good. But so, K-Mac, I hope that kind of justify what I was trying to say.
I agree with.
I just wanted to paint the context that, you know, people are making it look like this playing out from the back thing. Bro, if you're in the middle of the pitch, go pull up the stats of people getting dispossessed and getting pressed. It's either your key player like Salah running into shins, he's going to get double teamed. People in the middle, bro, the middle is the focal point. What do you want him to do? Jordan Henderson stuff and just pop the ball sideways and backwards at all times? What they criticize Declan Rice for? Turning and doing something. What do we praise Trey for? Turning and doing something. Not everyone has it, man.
That's what Trey looked. Looked stellar. Really good performance.
Yeah, talk about Trey a little bit. And I understand Liverpool fans are excited about Trey. Of course, you should be excited. He's coming from our academy. But I like what Slot said. He said, we're going to take our time with this kid. He doesn't even train with us every single day. We bring him in when we need him. Curtis getting injured, allow him to get some playing time. But I do agree with Zuberi and somewhat what came out. You said, I think the whole Elliott thing and Carvalho, it was forced because our players are not here. People need to understand that most of our players are still on vacation. So he said it himself. He said we didn't have a striker. So to me, when he said we didn't have a striker, that tells me Salah playing up top is not going to be something that Klopp did it, but I don't think this guy's going to do it as much, right? Or probably won't do it at all. The style of play that he's doing is simple passes. Don't rush it. Keep the ball. Hold the ball. Hold the ball as long as you can until you see something. Do the right options rather than forcing. But this is my thing, Zuberi and K-Mac. I think some of our players that people think are going to have a great season, are going to enjoy this, are not. Some players might not, like I think Zuberi, you said earlier, some players, maybe at the end of the season, they're just going to move on because the style of the way this guy is going to play.
Yo, before you continue, man, like I like having these football conversations, and sometimes there's like some serious conversations having, and then sometimes they'll just like banter things and personal take, I would say. So it's not a factual take, it's a personal take. If I'm going to make a personal take, like, the takes that I make about Divock Origi, those are my personal takes, right? But if I'm having an honest conversation, I'll entertain any honest conversation. When man is telling me Endo got pressed, he lost the ball or passed it to the opposition, he has over 90% passing accuracy in that game. So then that statement is wrong. And he's never been dispossessed in the game. So then, what are we really doing here? I don't quite understand what we're talking about. Google Endo stat for the game, and then take away your personal vendetta against the guy and wanting a better six. I understand if you want a better six.
No, that was what's the name?
I understand if you want a better six than Hendo, but don't make it out to be like the guy. Even K-Mac said it. Anderson, Endo. Like, I get that if you didn't quite like the guy, but Like I was arguing with Savage and G about Sepp, and I'm like, bro, it's great to see Sepp coming back in because everything he needed to do, he did it right. And man was like,
Right.
yeah, but it's not over the top. We don't need nothing over the top. We just need results. We won 1-0. The dude as a defender did everything he needed to do.
Yeah.
Bro, when we won the league, we didn't slap all the teams 4 or 5-0. Most of those games was 2-1 coming down from 1. Bro, we just need to win. We don't need to win and put up these big numbers, man. Like
100%.
I don't quite get what fans are nitpicking about, arguing about. It's ridiculous, bro. Man said every time, man have a 90+ passing accuracy. My passing accuracy was better than Salah, and Salah's supposed to pass and create.
You see, this is the thing, and me and K-Mike had debates on this. Sometimes Liverpool fans tends to, because they want a position fill, a new player to come to a certain position, we start to create this thing of this player is not good, this player is not good, this player is not good. The whole summer, all I heard was Diaz is not good, Diaz is not good, Diaz is leaving. Somebody even said the only reason he wants to leave because there's a lot of sun in Barcelona or whatever. I'm like, people, let the manager assess the team. And from what we saw, I'm here to say, I'm not going to mention any names. And some of these players that I saw who people think that, oh, they are the best, they are world class. Trust me, the style that this manager want to play, it's not going to fit a lot of some of our favorite players.
They're gonna say the manager's NPC as well, bro. Because I'm gonna be honest with you, for Hendo to step into this season or last season and won a trophy says a lot about who he is as a character and a professional. Going forward with style of play, I don't know what it is, Quasi. If you know what it is, more power to you. The guy's brand new. I've only seen one game of the guy.
Yeah,
I don't know what his instructions were. I think Sabazalai said it as well. Maybe even Kwanzaa. Like, there's instructions that they're being given that needs some more work, and I like the some more work piece. And it's gonna take time for it to work. But what I saw, if that's exactly what he brings, I think it can get 2 trophies. Like, I really think it can get 2 trophies because, like I said, for some of these cups, we only need to win 10 to 14 games to get that cup.
Yeah.
So even if it doesn't work over a 38-game period, what I saw in that preseason game, it's enough to work 14 times.
They can all be 1-0. They can all be 1-0ers.
I don't care if we win a cup all 1-0, bro. Are you mad? That bro, that's like what, 6 to 10 clean sheets in the cup. That's Golden Gloves in the cup. Somebody's the light tipping him in the way he's finishing that one. I don't care.
Yeah.
Who rave about that? So it's just that's just the way I'm looking at it. Like I said, a better when people talk about even the attack. Okay, like I really like to get your opinion on some of the midfield players. And I'm gonna reel them off. I trust you with this. Jones, Elliott, Carvalho, and then any potential midfielder that you think people should get or we should get. Those 3 for me, I don't know where they stand next season.
Very read my mind. I know you heard what I said, and he said, Quincy will mention it, I will mention it. He said, Quincy, don't tell that name.
No. Let K-Man run with it first. Because I heard Anthony Gordon want to come in, and I heard he want to come in, right?
So, okay, so, I mean, it's a hard one, really, because there's a guy that went to Brighton who we probably should have signed now that I'm thinking about it, and it's Matt Sweeper. Like, he probably should have got him, like, pure continuity in the midfield, someone he's worked with for years. That would have made a lot of sense to just keep things to a certain scale in the midfield. So you've got someone there that knows exactly how you want to play, and a lot of the ball's going to be in that area. So I think he's missed a trick there, but maybe there's another plan. I don't know. For me, like, Dominic Szoboszlai is now going to get played in the right position. So you're now going to see a better player. You're now going to see a player that doesn't have to work as hard. Like, he put so much of a shift in last year that he probably wasn't really fit to go into the Euros
Mhm.
and might have suffered because of that. But he could play attacking midfield, and he can also play on the right wing
Mhm.
as Salah's backup. I just see that as I really do see that as where his position's going to be in the
Mhm.
team. So that then leaves you with the conundrum of where does Gravenberch play, which is probably attacking midfield as well. Yeah. Where does Elliott fit in? Like, where does Elliott fit? He's not going to be a left winger
Mhm.
because we've got left wingers. We've got Gakpo, and we've got Diaz. Diaz is going nowhere, by the way. Like, Diaz is going nowhere. No one wants him. No one's going to buy him. Like no one's put a bid in for any of our players apart from Seth Van der Beek, who I want to keep. So, so that midfield, I think Tyler Morton might surprise a few people in this pre-season.
Wait, who?
Tyler Morton.
Okay.
Tyler Morton. I think he will surprise a few people in this pre-season. I think Stefan Bajcetic is probably going to let a few people down because he's just not ready. He looks way off it. I think he needs a loan. I can't see him being a bit part player. He's not going to get enough games. And if we're keeping Endo, then Endo's going to be there or thereabouts as a squad player.
Mm.
So my worry is McAllister going to play in that defensive role? That's my worry.
But
Just
that's
the way
not
the
bad
team
though,
is.
K-Mac. It's not bad though, is it?
It's not bad. It's not
It
bad.
got a trophy last season, so
I
McAllister
get
can
that.
dictate the game, and Endo can see out the game.
Mm.
So that's not a bad combo either.
No.
Before Zubair, you take over. Can you answer Uraj's question? He said Gordon or Diaz.
They're two different players,
Mhm.
so I'll measure them off output. Output,
Yeah.
I'll go Gordon. He's proven it, so
Yeah.
I'll go Gordon. But it also depends on what you like. I used to like a bit of the Ronaldinho trickery, but if you look at what Diaz does, if he can't get the better of the guy down the byline, he just runs back to the halfway line and recycle it. And I didn't say pass it back. He runs back there, give a 4-yard pass, and then run back down. So he's not really known for an eye for the pass, threading the needle type of ball. So if you notice, his assist numbers ain't really great. Where Gordon, I don't want to mess your name up, man, but he said, "Yo, Gordon is clear of Diaz." That the clear comes down to Gordon eye for creating something. Diaz is more like that maverick type of, which has no place at this level. The reason why I say this level in your semi-pro leagues, a guy like Diaz eats that up. Best player in the semi-pros by far. But at this level where you're going for trophy and you want to be on that world stage, what Diaz brings doesn't really make sense. No disrespect to him and to K-Mac point. That's why no one's bidding for him. So see, man saying he's not good enough for Liverpool. Liverpool is at that level where we're looking for Champions League. Diaz will make the Champions League game exciting.
Yeah.
But the most you'll probably do in a Champions League final is win a penalty for next man to stick it in. Because how many of us are backing Diaz on a penalty?
Does he even kick penalties?
How many of us is backing Diaz on a free kick?
He's a good penalty taker. Did you see him for Colombia? He scored 2 in the. He takes their penalties.
I don't know. I don't see him taking corner kicks.
He actually takes their penalties.
Yeah, he's their guy because that's.
I know we've got like all these
level.
players. We've got all these players in the Liverpool team that are the main penalty takers for their countries.
Yeah, but what I'm trying to say is,
and then we have Salah.
He ain't swinging in no corners. He ain't whipping in no free kick, indirect free kick. He ain't taking pens. He's just good to look at. He's almost like Dork.
Can I flip that on its head? So you mentioned Diaz. You mentioned Gordon. How much will Gordon cost?
Well, right now this is 100.
Yeah, I was gonna say low end 75, meaning
75,
if we slide them a player, slide them a player with 75. Diaz ain't costing 50. No one's buying Diaz.
There's another guy that we could probably get if we throw that kind of money and his release clause just ended, which means he hasn't got which means they like that he might actually be cheaper than his release clause now, and his output's better, and he's worked with one of our coaches that we've just signed,
Kudus,
and he plays on the left and the right, and he can also play in midfield if you wanted him to.
Kudus.
And his numbers are bonkers. He scored 18 goals last season, all competitions. Did you know that?
What was his assists?
7.
Gordon is double. I think it's like 10 and 11 or 11 and 10.
Yeah, this is Kudus' first season in the Premier League, mate. In a bad team, in not a great team, by the way. Not a great team. West Ham had probably one of their worst seasons. And the season before that, he got 19 goals and I think it was 8 assists. And that was a shit
numbers wise, like Kudus isn't bad. I don't want to like make it seem like he's bad or anything like that. It's Kudus coming in would be Elliott automatically out.
Yeah.
And it's not like I'm trying to defend Elliott, but if we're not going Elliott automatically out, I don't want to see Kudus. Where we can bring in a Gordon and it doesn't matter who really leaves, we're good in a sense, because a lot of people are looking at Diaz to Gordon.
But the Kudus piece, if Salah leaves on a free next season, you've got your Salah replacement.
I don't know if I'd want Kudus for that,
because you can switch him over. You can play anywhere. He's versatile. Like plays left or right.
Yeah.
Well, I just feel like the committee had the right guy. They had the right guy, like which was Kudus. They had him. Like he was the one that they said go and sign. All the numbers make sense. And Pep and Linders went, no, I want Hakpo. And he got his way, and we signed Hakpo.
And Hakpo is still balling. I mean,
Gakpo saved us when certain men went on a drought.
I get it, but you would have had him in now, and he would have done 2 years with us.
Yeah, Trailer, I think he wants. K-Mike's been trying to get Diaz out since last season.
I never wanted Diaz in the first place, mate.
But Gakpo made more sense because of the prospect of going through the middle, and we actually used him through the middle. Kudus, that's kind of like some of his limitations there, like being a target guy. So Gakpo had that target guy thing with him, not just as a left wing or a creator, but he had that target man mentality, which is what I was trying to tell Enz when I did the show with on Gakpo. Yeah. And Enz was like, I don't want him as a target man. And it's like, when you're signing certain players, you want to kind of know all the avenues they can run into. So you see signing Carvalho, and I don't want to even make any comment on him, but I just want to use this as an example. This kid comes in and said he's only a 10. Well, that's a bad signing if he's going to put himself in a box.
I know. Why did the guy
but like I said, I'm not trying to like harp on it. I just want to use it as an example where Kudus, every position Kudus can play in, we have a couple guys that can do the same positions. So that's why I was just trying to make it clear as to why Gakpo signing made a little bit more sense, because he can actually go into the 9, and we don't have a lot of those guys that can go into the 9 very well. So that's why I said that makes sense, because if Jota goes down injured, and I don't know if they predicted Nunes not firing still, but when Nunes went on his bad run, Gakpo actually made sense.
Yeah.
So and it actually worked out in a few games. So Kudus, I don't know if he could have helped with that, because if you put Kudus right, put Salah through the middle, I think Kudus is like 5'6", maybe 5'8". Salah's 5'5". Like, you don't want your front three to be some guys that can't jump for the ball, because you're gonna limit in the crosses in the box. So you would still want a big frame guy in there, knotting them down at least. So not every short guy's like Mane or Jota. And
who can jump.
Since Jota came back from his injuries, his heading has been off as well. So
this is the thing that I said. Yeah, but before we continue, people, please like the likes up. Keep the likes up, people. Remember, our goal is 21, and with the people who are in right now, we will go way over the 21 if everybody were to click the like button. And then please, if you haven't subscribed, we are very close to our goal, 300 for the month, and we got 3 more days. So as a matter of fact, with the amount of people who in here, some people that I'm seeing in the chat I don't think have subscribed yet. So please subscribe, whether you agree with whatever we say or not, and whether we agree with you or not. please subscribe. Just be respectful. But this is the thing that I was saying, K-Mac and Drew. The style that this guy wants to play, I said you have to have technical ability. That means you have to have some form of high IQ, where when to pass the ball with one touch or hold the ball for just a little bit of a second and then, release it, or you move with the ball. During the Betis game, I realized a couple of times certain players did not do that. And some of them were superstars. They were holding the ball a little bit way too long rather than releasing the ball, because we, as a Liverpool fan and as a Liverpool team, we do know that teams like to play pragmatic against us. So when we have them open and we still hold the ball a little bit too long, it gets their defense to organize back up. And what I saw, and Zuberi mentioned a couple players who, when they got the ball, instead of passing, they want to play certain style of football that I believe that is slowly kind of old nowadays. You know what I mean? It's not there anymore. And I believe that's why I think, what's that kid's name? Trey was so exciting to see, because he released the ball real quick. He holds the ball when he needed to. He wasn't scared. They were bullying him at one point during the free kicks. You could see the other player was laughing because he was so skinny. They kept pushing him all over the place. But this kid,
Kwanzaa was pushing him, man. You need to watch that back. Kwanzaa was a menace.
Yeah, I saw it. He kept like, go over there.
Wait, but give names.
See what I'm saying,
who
though?
was
I'm gonna say
was holding the ball too long.
I'm gonna say Salah was one of them. I felt a couple of times Salah was still thinking that he was in the club state of mind. Elliott was one of them. I felt like Tsimikas and Cavallo make a good run, but Tsimikas and Elliott were not giving him the ball at the right time when he needed to say it. Because on my side of the commentary, the commentator said Cavallo is making a good run, but he's not getting the ball. And it was usually between Tsimikas, Elliott, who were holding the ball a little bit too much. And Salah also on the other side, he's hit like the goal that he gave to, what's the name? Szoboszlai. That is what I think the manager wants to see. That quick pass where the player running into the ball rather than give him the ball, let him turn, and then trying to shoot into the ball. And honestly, maybe it's a bias, Zuberi. I'm tired of seeing wingers trying to do that cutting in and shooting with their left foot in the top corner. I'm tired of that. I want to see strikers score more goals. I'm going back to the old school ways where have your attack, your strikers be the focal point rather than, that's why maybe I'm not too fond of the whole Gordon situation, because I see him as another Salah, right?
I want to see cutbacks. I want to see that cutback. The cutbacks that Spain were doing, which won them the Euros, where you cut with them area and you've got a striker coming in.
Thank you. That's how I want to see it.
That's the problem we've had. That's the problem we've had for too long. We don't have enough shots from the center of the box.
All right, so
and we've got really good guys who can score goals from the center of the box.
Mm-hmm. All right, K-Mac, let me jump in right there, and I'm going to defend one of the guys, and I'm going to kick him because of the comment you mentioned right there. Elliott is a one-footed footballer, and when you're one-footed, you're either going to be like Robin, Mahrez. You have to be so deadly with the 1 foot. Mm-hmm. That we can allow you to slide. Elliott ain't that, and Salah ain't even that anymore. There was a cutback. Elliott ran onto it, and he kicked it for a pass to Carvalho. It was a clear cutback. I don't know if you guys remembered, but you can't count it as a shot because it just went straight to Carvalho. Like that's how poor the shot was.
It felt like a missed kick, didn't it?
No, it was a missed kick. It was a shot.
Oh, no.
You do remember what I'm talking about?
Do you know what it reminds me of? Do you remember that? Do you remember that assist that that Nunez got?
Oh yeah, but that's what I'm trying to say to you, K-Mac. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
What I'm trying to say is it's happening, but we don't have the guys to quite do it. Because think about Dork. And the reason I'm mentioning him before I get to the guys quasi dissed up. Every time Dork skinned a guy,
yeah.
K-Mac, there's never been a late
attacker right there, right? There was no striker started.
No. One the striker, because the striker's always standing in between two defenders when Dork goes through. Where's the cutback? There's never been a cutback for Dork. Criminal to Dork. All right, we'll leave
He's
that.
trying to dribble too much.
Elliot can't give Carvalho the ball because it's too predictable on his left foot. Hence the reason, your point, Quasi, he held the ball longer than he needs to. Why? He's not strong on his right side, and he was playing with majority of the play on his right side. So for him to open up his body, it would require him to use his right foot. He ain't got that. He doesn't have that. So he can't do that. What does he do? He turns to the left to come back to the same position where he could have just shifted the ball to. You see what I'm trying to say? So he has to hold it longer than need to because he's just not that skilled. Think about it. I'm facing the opposition goal. I need to go right. I can just shift it to my right foot. If I need to go back to the left, maybe a little coif turn or push it back over there. Elliot ain't that. So in order for Elliot to go right, he has to do a 360 on his left.
And come the other way around.
So he has to hold it longer.
Right.
It's not quite the same thing for Simi. It's the first game I think Simi is playing with Carvalho on the left.
On the left side, yeah.
Simi's trying to do underlap and overlap, and Carvalho ain't really using them either. So I think that's just a fresh link up. That's Simi knowing ahead, like this guy probably ain't gonna be here or be on the left. So I don't think Simi's quite focused on that. Simi's just like, yo, let me just not put a foot wrong. So I just want to give Simi that credit for holding it too long. Right. Carvalho is in the I need to take this and let it up. Remember when Kudus used to just come in the cups and pop it off like he's the man? Got that same energy from Carvalho. Because he wasn't looking for a point. Go ahead.
Can I pause you real quick? Let me answer this kid. Hey, Steve, we are not going to talk about FSG in, FSG out. So if you are not interested with what we're talking about, we will see you next time. But yeah, we don't do that whole hate.
I'm confused. What question was he asking?
No, he's been talking about FSG in, FSG out, asking questions, and he feels like we are not responding to that. That's not a topic of conversation today. So I'm sorry. We trust me. The people that I roll with, the panel that I bring in, they don't just say FSG in, FSG out. So I'm sorry if we disappointed you, bro.
I'm clueless, man. If the man got a question, man, I think at least we should entertain.
No, we posted in there, but nobody talked about it, and he's getting frustrated about it. So I'm sorry, bro. We talking about.
Nah, man, I don't want you dissing up the guy. I just scroll back up. Man said watch Gakpo put under Arne slot this season. Like what?
Oh.
Right, the same guy you're dissing up, man. Man's bigging up Gakpo in that, man. I don't think.
No, I will show you what you want. I'll go if you wanna. You were cooking, and if you want to stop cooking, and
okay. I see one.
You see what I'm saying? So you guys are cooking, and you know I don't want to mess up the cooking by changing the conversation.
Nah, bro, man, sound like he's FSG in, bro. What?
No, he's not FSG in. He wants FSG out. Yeah, he wants them out. Big up to Trigger, man. Big.
Nah, I'm just.
Yeah, he's definitely not FSG.
He's not FSG. You're gonna get him mad for saying.
Wait, this Steve YNWA?
Yeah, he's not. If you go all the way back, this guy has been on demon time since he came in. FSG out, FSG out.
Bro, I'm looking. The man is. I mean, I don't know, bro. Nah, man saying it's too late to improve. Nah, he's making some good. I just don't. Listen, I just don't feel like the man should be banned for asking questions.
No, we're not banning him. I'm just saying if he's not comfortable or don't like the conversation, and you are cooking, and I'm not gonna stop what you're cooking and say, hey, Zuberi, are you FSG in or FSG out?
Oh, I mean, I don't want to tell you how to do your thing, man.
This is what he says. He said, ask questions about FSG. But let's pick up G. G's in the building.
Have you seen that comment from Honesty? Sorry, big up G.
Big up,
Nico Williams?
Nico Williams' brother. Ooh.
Oh, okay. So the whole Barcelona thing. Okay, if that's true. Them guys are very close. So, but Barcelona don't have the money. I keep telling people, Barcelona,
for Diaz.
Yeah, Zuberi, he said you and him, let's cook. So I don't know what kind of cook, but let's pick up G. G's in the building. Thank you so very well for joining the show, man. G, I'm sorry, Zuberi, you were in the middle of a good point. And
what I was trying to explain to you, like, I don't want us to just magnify some little things without the context. So when you said hold the ball, like, these players aren't just holding a ball because they want to. They're either limited or that connection ain't quite there. Like some of the movement, like you said, Carvalho was making some good runs, but I don't know if it's run he's making on his own or they're instructional. Because some of his runs was, I hate to coin it this way, but just so everyone can understand what I'm saying. You know that Mane diagonal run in the back? He was making a few of those. Trey gave him a pass that was offside. He actually cut across the back line to the near post towards Trey's side for that pass. I don't think Trey could have played it in the moment he made the run, but by the time he was coming back, the space opened up for it, and Trey pinged it in there, and it was actually offside. What I'm trying to say is the runs and some of the passes ain't quite. Tsimikas had a pass. He could have sticked it to two players. He had options, and I think he tried to squeeze it to Salah. And I'm going to be honest, if that would have made it to Salah, it would have been a different conversation, K-Mac, talking to you about Tsimikas. If that pass did cut the lines, K-Mac, I don't know if you know the play I'm talking about. Tsimikas is on a break. He's running with it. There is Elliott on the inside. Carvalho was hesitating on whether he should run in or out because it was the inside. And Salah was out there. And he tried to squeeze it to Salah. And I'm like, Tsimikas, I see what you was trying to do, but God couldn't allow that to go through. Because Robbo could never. And I would come on stream and say, Robbo could never. So God didn't allow that to go through. K-Man, do you know what I'm talking about?
People are catching strays.
Do you know what I'm talking about? Because if he made that, your energy would have been different.
He tried to pass it to his mate when he should have
should have played
done the right thing.
Yeah, kept it simple.
Gee, so we talk, as you can tell, we're discussing the match. Liverpool fans are calming down, seeing what the manager is trying to do. You could see there's a pattern of play, which was, I guess, everybody's said, I want to see this during preseason. I want to see pattern of play. I want to see the instructions make sense while watching it. To me, I'm seeing it. There's a little bit difference from Klopp, the former manager, that is. One thing that I like, though, when we lose the ball, it looks like people are ready to at least slow the ball down so that the person doesn't have a through ball, compared to the previous manager where when we lose the ball, we are very, very exposed through the middle. This one, it didn't look like that. And that's one of the things that I was very, very excited. Personally, I don't care win or lose. It didn't matter to me. The winning was a bonus. It calms people down. Now, some people are like, oh, I see why he wanted to assess the players, because you could tell certain players are not going to make it. Let's be honest, right? But in your eyes, what did you see? And how did you interpret?
I think, first half I liked, because you got to, as you said, everything you said, basically, I saw that in the first half. Second, obviously, so many changes, tempo of the game kind of. I'll be honest, I started falling asleep because of the time that the game was on over here. It was kind of boring, man.
It was late.
First half, first half, you could see the patterns of play. The assessing squad thing, not really, because there wasn't any, I didn't see that game and think, okay, I've changed my mind about this guy. Anything I would have said about whatever player, I'm still saying now. Do you know what I mean? Whatever positions that, for example, everyone talks about the six. If anything, it even enhanced. I'll say that much, that people want a new six, kind of thing. But other than that, I think more importantly, I think it was just to see what you're trying to do. And you don't have all the players. You don't have the Van Dijks, the Gakpo, Diaz, Nunes, and all of these guys, McAllister. So I think it was just more, okay, let's see what these guys are trying to do. I wasn't really focused too much on the players who was there. To be honest, I didn't really care, because I said, ultimately, nothing's going to change my mind in regards to who I'd want to sell, loan, keep, and all that kind of stuff. I think it's more just trying to see, what do you want to do? So then when the guys do come back, I guess you probably could look at that potentially and say, okay, let's see what that looks like as a first team, for example. And maybe he is going to look at that and think, you know what, I can't, such and such can't play in this system. As an example, I don't know who, but such and such can't play in this position, or I need to find a specialist, I don't know, center midfielder, I don't know, whatever. So I think we got to see a little bit, but as the preseason steps up and players come back and we face better opposition potentially, it'll be good to see what that looks like against different types of teams, because ultimately, you know, you play against one style of team. Okay, let's see what that's like against an Arsenal, for example. Let's see what that's like against a Manchester United, Sevilla. Like, I would really love to see what that looks like. And then, yeah, as you said, the result, I'm not really bothered. I literally just wanted to see what the style.
I just want to see.
And just take it
I
from
agree.
there. But yeah.
And Triller, I kind of agree with what Zuberi was saying. Carvalho, I don't see it. I don't see it.
Whoa, that's not what I said, bro. I just said I don't know if it's an instructional thing or is man doing his own thing. That's not what I said.
That's what I'm saying.
He did,
huh? He did, right?
Say that. He didn't.
I know.
So
I'm saying that's
Wait, did I say it? Did I?
No, you didn't. No, you didn't.
No, I didn't, Quasi. That's what I'm
okay.
saying. You know what, K-Mac? Thank you.
I apologize.
Because Quasi will still lie on your name, you know, K-Mac. You have to listen to what he said.
Sorry, mate.
I said I don't know if it's instructional or he's doing his own thing. We'll tell as time goes on.
Okay. I will give him the whole. I will give him the whole preseason before anybody in the team right now. The whole preseason before I start making with of one game.
Like he's just a 10.
Of one game is not going to be
being a 10. Like he never gets a chance to play it for Liverpool. Like give him a chance to play in the 10, and then maybe we can judge him. Like
Zabari, you see what your boy just wrote there, so that's why. But
he works really hard.
I'll chat to him in the I'll chat to him in the chat as well, man. But the Carvalho, to G's point and what G was saying, because I felt that as well, and I agree with him. I didn't see anything on anyone that was already here to change how I felt. The Salah enhanced my feeling on Salah. Endo didn't move me up or down because I already knew what Endo level was before he came here. So Endo is always Endo for me. I'm not expecting him to go up or down. I know what the guy was before and now. There's only two players that really had me going rah, and they're both new. That's Sepp, and I'm saying Sepp is new because he's coming back from the
we've never seen him in a long time.
Sepp had me like, Trey had me like, Everybody else, it's maybe Elliott went down a little bit because when he did that 360 turn on his left, I was like, fuck. But that's just it.
Sepp, for me, it was Sepp and Trey.
And that was the point I was trying to get across before by saying some of the new players are going to pick it up a lot faster than some of the older players.
Oh, that's what you meant. Okay.
That's what I was getting at.
Then I agree. But you have to be more specific. I can't read between, well, K-Mac said A and C. That means B is in there. For your head, just say it with your chest, man. You didn't call names, but you didn't call names. You didn't call names.
I think I need
to be more specific, man. But no, if that's what you meant, I agree with you because that 360 turn, we don't need that in the game going forward, right, G? You're allowing man to get back into position.
Yeah. Elliot didn't really change. Yeah, he was.
Yeah, if you need to go right, bro, shift it on your right foot. Don't do no 360 turn on the left. But what are we doing here? Driving tractor trailers?
I didn't even know Elliot was playing for the first 30 minutes.
He was missing.
That was quite scary.
Now, man. What are you doing, man? You dissing him up?
Well, the manager did say that he put certain players out of position because. Elliot was one of them. Elliot should be on the right most of the time. But if we are talking, though, if he's going to be able to move forward, he has to adapt. I mean, not play at world-class level, but at least adapt so that you don't get too exposed. That's what I believe. But, G, I'm waiting for your answer on this one. Good. Liverpool fans are excited about this. I call him Trey Young, right? Because that's how I remember. In your scouting eyes, what do you think?
With Mizabiri ends and Sabi, we spoke about this earlier on. I think you see Trey, he's got what he has over give or take everybody else in terms of the youth, the academy. He has natural ability. Yeah, he's not like the rest of them. I always think to myself, their ability is not natural. It's you can tell, which is there's no problem with that, by the way. It's just you can tell he's got the natural ability. So when he plays like how he played against Real Betis, you can tell that's just natural. Remember, what did Slot say? He said this guy doesn't train all the time with the first team. Doesn't do all of these kind of things. That tells you straight away that's literally just natural ability. That's just the guy. This is just how I normally play. This is what I do. So yeah. Honestly, I liked his performance, man. Honestly, I was very interested to see what he would look like. I didn't have any expectation on him or whatever.
Right.
I was just like, okay, he's gonna come on, and that's a bit weird from slot. Why do you put him on? He was ahead of other players, but listen, he played good, man. He played good for the time that he was on the pitch, and it'll be good to see what he how he just how he plays between now and the end of preseason. And then for the season, if he feels that he is someone who can have in and around the squad, then I've got no real problems with that, man. I like him. I like him.
Yeah. Zuberi, you want to expand on that?
Yeah, so shout out to Trey. When he was coming on, me and Enz was watching it in the back office, and he was coming on, and Savage always know these, what I'm saying, prospects and that. So Savage was raving about him, blah blah blah, and saying, "Yo, man could look a little bigger, blah blah blah. He's young, yeah." And I'm like, all right, well, this is another one for me to look at, because Savage bigged up Scanlon and a few other young men, and I was just like, So when he was coming in, I have enough evidence to trust Savage, right? It wasn't even 30 seconds. I went, okay. And then from there was like, go on, Trey. And I'm seeing dropping the shoulders, breaking the lines with passes. And I was like, I start thinking to myself, like, there's a Kudus Defense League. And I'm like, I was on the Trey stock market purchasing all the stocks, bro, with every faith that I have within me as a Liverpool fan. I put it on this kid because I'm like, but what are we really talking about here now, Savage? Are we saying men like Kudus is going to have to hold a bench? Or we're going to have to dissolve the Kudus Defense League? And then when I hear a slot say, yeah, this guy, he doesn't really train with us in every session. So he's not with you in every session, but he can jump in a game and do that.
That's a lot of trust.
And then he said, to K-Mac's point, some of these old men need to look to this little kid and learn a thing or two. I'm like, I'm so I'm not sure if the manager was gassing me or gassing the kid, but when he said that, I didn't try to read between the line, K-Mac. I just took it for what he said. He said, some of these men need to learn a thing or two from Trey.
I kind of like that, by the way.
And that's where my whole point is. Maybe you guys could say I'm overreacting because it's just one game. If I'm looking at Trey and I'm saying this kid released the ball on time, he holds the ball when he needs it, and he's not scared. In real tight corner said he's holding the ball, right? Which is, I think, is something that Slot is going to emphasize, where don't panic, hold the ball, pass those short passes, right? McAllister, I think McAllister is going to do very well in those type of things. Like then, remember I said certain players will hold the ball a little bit too long or whatever? If I'm looking at the youngin is doing like this, like the goal came from him, actually.
Yeah, but Quasi, what I'm trying to say to
what it's feeling
point,
like, Colonel, it feels like some players are playing Brexit midfield, and some of them aren't.
K-Mac, you like pushing the envelope, and when you do that, you piss people off. Like you didn't. All you had to say was the old guard.
You made up the Brexit midfield. You coined that.
No, I didn't coin it. Rival fans coined it. But what I'm trying to say is, it was Brexit midfield because it was lacking one specific thing. It was lacking flair and ability. It really lacked flair and ability. So let's be honest. Curtis Jones with flair and skipping past man. He tried it. It's not. He was almost like one foot in, one foot out with the Brexit. Elliot, he's just left-footed. He doesn't have all that ability. He has flair. Right. So Trey coming in, it's a breath of fresh air. We can't deny that. I'm not trying to go over the top, but it's not Brexit regime. It's not Brexit guided and coached. So Trey is actually a blank slate, K-Mac. So you're right. The other men, it's not quite a blank slate. There's room for learning in there, but they're not quite a blank slate. So like my boys always said, it's good to have a female that doesn't come with a lot of garbage for you to dispose of to rebuild. So getting that blank slate to build on. So that's the difference between Trey, Elliot, and the Jones. Jones, they kind of had some of the old Brexit stuff in them, where Trey is fresh. We can go anywhere from here with him, to G's point as well. You know what I'm saying? He doesn't have that extra baggage on him, man. So it's going to be exciting to see what he turns out to be. I'm hoping Slot doesn't put garbage in him, because we have to also think as a club and supporters of this club, Slot isn't going to be here for the next 20 years. So what he does now in his time, whether it's long or short, we have to make sure he ain't leaving a lot of garbage here. So when he leaves, we need him to leave. And this is the only reason I was Klopp out. You have to leave when you have good stuff in the guys. You can't leave once the garbage piles on and it's starting to taint up and the best before date is tomorrow. You're giving it to me today. What if I don't want to use it today? No. Think about that. Let that soak in going forward. You give me something the day before the best before date. If I have no use for it today, by the time I need it, it's going to be expired.
Yeah. And next, there was a kid that somebody mentioned there. I feel like this, we know who Kai Gordon is, right? He needs to grow because of that injury held him back for a whole year. But K-Mike and G, this kid named Blair, I didn't know, right? You know, I know some of you guys are very well invested in watching the academy games. Blue Chip is one of them. He's always know who's the next one coming up. But Blair was kind of keep people's eyes a little bit open because Dance is the kid that everybody wants to be the next one. But Blair wasn't that bad himself. And G, I think you and me will agree with this. If one of Liverpool players have to go on loan and they send him to any of the English pyramid, I'm gonna lose my shit.
Nah, I wouldn't. Someone like Blair, he would have to go because he's not. You know what I mean? Like, it's like him going to somewhere in England. Like, I wouldn't really mind because I don't think he's like. I think he's like close to like first team or anything like that. Like, he seems like one of those kind of guys where, you'll end up just seeing him leave Liverpool and you won't really care either way. Not that
you said man went to Scotland and just never comes back.
Yes. You know, that's actually a perfect thing. He'll be one of those type of players where you're just like, oh, he plays for Hearts now. Like, okay, fair, he's doing his thing, blah blah blah. Like we had that with Elijah Dixon Bonner. We've had that with a few other players. I think he went to QPR after.
What happened to Ben Woodburn? Where he's at?
He's playing for Sully Hill.
No, he's in the Championship, Ben Woodburn.
Is it Sully Hill or Salford? One of the two.
Salford.
One of the two I was looking.
Salford. He's in the Championship.
I haven't heard about him since he left, you know?
That's a bit lower down.
But I'm trying to think, what other teams did Ben Woodburn even play for prior to...
he's in the Championship.
I think he went to Hull. Didn't he went to Hull on the loans a few times?
No, he played for Sheffield United, Oxford, Blackpool, Hearts, Preston. So he's had for him, obviously, listen, if I was in his position, I'd be very happy right now. Of course, if I'm playing football, you know, whatever. But he's one of those guys, like, you know what? He might even end up like one of those type of players where they just have a journeyman's kind of, career, unless he can develop really good in this next year. At the moment, I just haven't really seen enough to say Harvey Blair is a player to really, make an impact. But listen, man, a year can change. In a year's time, all of a sudden, players just boom, and then you're just looking at this guy like, yo, we need no one. Jayden Danns was an afterthought. Like who thought of Jayden Danns? All of a sudden, people are saying he should be in the first team. Like it can just change. Exactly, and things can just change. So I don't want to. With players like that, I'm like, just leave them to their devices. Let them do their thing. Let them just keep developing. You pick it up a year later because for all you know, Liverpool might be in a position in a year later where they're so good, you have to let him go because he's never going to make the team. Or we're so bad, we need someone like him in the team. So you just got to weigh it up later on, man. But let him do his thing, man. Let him do his thing. I ain't got no problem with him.
Well, the Harvey Blair thing, I'll kind of switch that. If you just look at Ben Doak, Ben Doak hasn't really done anything at Liverpool. Let's be really honest here. He's done pretty much zero at Liverpool, so far. You've got 2 Premier League teams that just got promoted who want to take him on loan. That's how quickly your career can turn around. Southampton and Ipswich would both take Ben Doak on loan, and also Jayden Danns. So you basically got 2 players there who haven't really done a huge amount for Liverpool. Danns has done a bit more, obviously, but those 2 players could get Premier League loans. That's exactly what we need. Because if they're ever going to be successful as players, they need to get better loans than buggering off to Scotland somewhere and not doing anything in Scotland. Like being the player of the season and
But
then
you
just not
don't
being
you
good
don't
enough
want
to.
him to go there and sit on the bench, because then that even speaks
Makes
a
it
greater
worse.
volume. Yeah, because if you couldn't get game time there, and then the loan
Well,
was
then you
pointless.
take them back then, and you find them a better club, but you don't dump them in the second division. Like, and you want to play them at clubs where they're playing similar type of football to Liverpool.
Yeah.
And
And that's what I'm saying, K-Mike.
Southampton, which kind of play good football. Like,
Yeah, like a kid like Trey, if he's time, if it's time for him to play man football, like we say he turns 18 and then it's time. Please don't bring him, don't send him to,
Actually, I
send him
wouldn't
to.
want to
I'd
see
rather
him on
send him to
loan.
Spain. Send him to Spain
Trey,
somewhere.
Trey shouldn't go out on loan. When you have a
I agree,
talent
he
like
shouldn't.
that,
But if he was to go,
no, when you have a talent like that you're not even training with every day, you're basically grooming the next Maverick in a sense, where it's specialized training and specialized development. You don't want to entrust that with anyone. You want to nurture that yourself.
right?
And that's what we did with Curtis. But the issue with the Curtis nurturing is he was getting that nurturing under a specific midfield that we won't call again K-Mac moving forward. That midfield is not the right midfield to nurture your young kids coming up on there. You know what I'm trying to say? Because you're training the young kids to do that, and that wasn't even it. So we should have nurtured Curtis to the best of his strength, not what we needed from him. Turning man into some utility recycle type of player when man had more in him than that. You know what I'm trying to say? So that's what I want to see with the young kid. But a lot of these players, if we run them out on loan, what I really expect is a few of them to come back in January to be sold, or coming back in the end of the season to be sold, boosting up the revenue and freeing up just some spaces in the squad, so that way when we get rid of the guys that actually stayed around, we can actually build from there, because we have a lot of prospects. We don't quite know where they're fitting in, man, and it's like it's getting annoying now. So for like Elliott and Curtis, we don't need both of them to not really be a starter. And I'm telling you right now, none of those two names as a starter in a Champions League final is doing it for me. And no disrespect to Jones, like we've seen glimpses here and there, but bro, we don't need you to be a facilitator in the midfield. We've had that midfield before, man. Run that midfield, man. Go dominate a game. You're not dominating a game doing 4-yard, 3-yard passes, bro. That's not dominating a game. I can do that. There's nothing special about a 3-yard, 4-yard pass. So,
I think I agree with Zabiri about like this whole. I feel like Liverpool fans here, the way we talk about the players. I said this before, like we've got so many players though. Like just to bounce off that point, we've got so many players. I think where you're like, I don't know what he's gonna do, and even if you believe CJ or Elliot, I'm not gonna say either one of them, whichever one you think is good enough.
But even the other guys as well, though.
It's not and I'm not just, but I'll just use those two as an example. Even those two, I am also a bit like, are they really even good enough though? Like, or are we just? Is it a best of a bad situation type of thing with these players? Like that's sometimes how I look at. I'm like, are they really that good enough? Like, really? Like, is that the kind of player that you would say?
We need to dust that red dust out of our eyes and see these men for who they are, bro.
I think we're going to be surprised, because I think Hughes and Edwards are going to start putting price tags on people's heads, and they are going to go. And that needs to happen.
It's good so we can know what they're worth, because I think this is what I was saying earlier with Ends, and it's no disrespect to the other players that were mentioned. Bro, some players we don't actually know their value. They're just here, and then we look at who's here, and we see 10 midfielders, and we're like, well, out of the 10, CJ's the best. Okay, he's the best in that 10. But what does that even mean?
You
see what I'm trying to say? So no disrespect to the Arsenal guy was talking about. That's the whole point. Yeah, you can be the main guy, and that's great. But what does that measure up to?
Yeah.
What does it say if our best midfielder is only worth 15 mil? What is it? What does that even mean? We need to be able to
Means
quantify
we
that.
haven't got a good enough midfield.
No, yeah,
So the season when we had 12 midfielders and only 7 was available, and people were like, we need midfielders, and I was like, why would we buy them if we have 12 on books? You know, we had 12 on the books. We can only play 7. What is that? That doesn't mean we need new midfielders. We need to get rid of the other ones that's not available.
Right.
So we need to know, man. I think we need to know so we can move on and just be done with it. We can't carry on all these bodies.
Just for this, for an example, and this is how mad this is, by the way, and I don't know how it's been we've let this happen. But we still got Reece Williams and Nat Phillips as centre backs.
I thought Reece Williams.
Like seriously, we still have them in the team. They still haven't been sold.
Listen.
I feel it wasn't bad when he showed up, though.
Nat Phillips played. Nat Phillips played.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
No, but he always plays preseason. But I'm optimistic.
What's he doing there?
No. Well, K-Mac, what I'm trying to say is I'm optimistic, right? And I love a good nostalgic vibe. And like I said, I was very impressed to see what Sepp did. Because normally, the first time I saw Sepp, man brushed him aside like he didn't exist. Remember that near post incident? I don't know if you might remember. Rubbed him off. Yeah. When I said rubbed him off, I'm like,
just moved
not it. Everyone just said not it. He went out on loan. He comes back. I'm like,
twice.
Hey, yo. Nah. Sepp is looking okay. Sepp, I see you. So, do I want that for Nat Phillips? I think he's too old. Would I want that for Reece Williams?
He can't. He have no speed. That brother has no speed.
That is where he's hurting because Sepp actually have a bit of pace on him.
Yeah. So. And if you were answering the question that Trigger TV said, what would you say?
Or keep Sepp or sell? I would keep Sepp. I would sell Phillips, Reece. I think Matip is already going.
Matip is going, yeah.
So that would leave us with Joey. I would sell Kanate as well. But it's not an indictment as far as he's not of the quality. It's when we get into the territory, and it we can't predict it, which is fine. But when you're looking at our players, and few of them can hit 30 games out of 38, and it's not because of rotation.
Yeah,
not that in itself isn't winning you anything title-wise. So that's why I'll just kind of move Kanate because it's the same thing for Elliot. No, not Elliot. Jones.
Okay, so then I'm going to be controversial. I know you're going to be like, bruh, it's just one game. Slow your roll. Seeing Trey Young.
Think about what you're about to say.
I know, but I'm going to say it anyway. Watching Trey Young play midfield, right? For like 35 minutes that he played. Zuberi, do you think Zuberi's boy Trent can play that same way? I know they are two separate profiles, but if we were to move Trent into that midfield that people think that he wants to play or he can play, looking at the two profiles on how this young kid is playing, do you rather have, okay, maybe I should ask it this way. Do you rather have that profile or the Trent profile?
I'd rather have his profile because that profile is an actual midfielder. Trent's profile isn't of a midfielder. That's just it is what it is, isn't it? But obviously Trent is the more experienced, so he would probably do better over a longer period of time than someone like a Trey anyway. But I would much prefer to have because Trey does things like I said. No, this to Trent because he's not a midfielder. Trey, he's got midfielder tendency. There's certain little things that he taking the ball on a half turn, knowing when to pop the ball off, knowing when to move forward, knowing when to pass back. There's just certain little things that he was doing. And again, it's only the 40 minutes that he's playing that he was doing that Trent just will not ever do because that's just not his game, which is fine. His game is Hollywood pass. That's what he's good at. Hollywood pass. I'm the best at it. No problem. You keep on doing that from the midfield or right back area. So if we're just talking profile, not player people, just profile, Trey's profile is literally a midfielder, whereas Trent isn't a midfielder. I'm not saying Trent can't do some of the stuff that Trey did. But you can tell it's very forced. Whenever I watch Trent do certain things, it's so forced. Like you can just tell, and you can tell it's not natural to him that what he's doing, but he might be able to do it. And that's why I talk about the natural ability. So if you can nurture, obviously Trey's mad young. I'm not asking him to play, by the way, in the team. But if you nurture that over a few years, give it some time, then you never know. Well, I say that, Lamine Yamal is 17 years of age. So really and truly, if you're good enough, you should be able to play anyway, really and truly. So the reality is age shouldn't even become a factor in these kind of things, because if you are good enough, then it should just be able to motor on from there in it. But for the time being, profile wise, yes, of course, you take a Trey type of profile player than a Trent every day of the week, like 100.
Yeah. And K-Mac, looking at Bradley, how the new manager is utilizing Bradley, where he's inverting him, but you stay with the midfielders, you don't bomb forward unless you underlap, right? Looking at that, what do you think if Trent were to do that? What will he bring to the squad?
I don't think Trent's got the. I don't think Trent can do what Bradley can do. Like, he can't run. He can't dribble past players. You can't do that. Like, I also feel, and please comment on this if you agree. I also feel that Trent is a different player now because he's put on so much muscle mass.
Yeah, man, I saw those pictures.
I mean, he really is. Like, I don't think he has that slight of, that kind of wing back pace where he can move past players and maneuver himself past players anymore. And he's kind of built himself into a situation where he's either going to be more solid, and stay more rigid as a player and more strength wise, and keep players off the ball with his body, and do that kind of role, or he is probably going to have to go into midfield. Like, I feel like he's built himself into. He's really put himself into a situation. Like, he really has. Like, it's not going to be easy to be able to manage him and manage that contract. And Bradley just looks like a breath of fresh air. Like, he's like a sponge. He absorbs everything. Like, did you see that run he made into the centre of the park where he dribbled past about 4 players?
Yep.
Honestly, Bradley's got that in his game now. And the more you play Bradley, he's 21 years old, by the way. The more you play Bradley, the better he's going to get. His ceiling could be insane. Like, his ceiling could be so high if we manage him the right way and get the best out of him for his attributes.
Yeah.
But like, even his relationship with Salah is starting to develop, which is quite scary as well for Trent.
Yeah.
Because that's what Trent had with Salah.
Yeah.
They had that connection. But if Bradley starts to get that relationship with Salah, the more he plays, how do you not play Bradley? Like,
well, let me drop my 2 cents on this. Geez, I apologize.
And I'm not talking because you're gonna.
No, it's fine. It's fine. I was gonna cook you anyways. Nah.
Okay. I love Trent, by the way, but I just
no. It's not about like your takes on the Trent thing. It's just more so the situation with Trent. Him being a right back or even through the middle. I don't think it's down to Bradley or Trey per se. Because everything that Trey does, Trent can do effortlessly. Everything Bradley does, Trent does naturally. The thing then becomes about effort and energy. So effort and energy is the only 2 things Trey and Bradley have over Trent. And I'm not gonna front, bro. When the temperature is right, when the game is right, no one have more energy than Trent, bro. Like, think about that, bro. Like, bombing up and down the wing, bro. Trent does that, bro. It's almost as if sometimes he's playing in some game, he's just like very relaxed. You know what I'm trying to say? So the 2 guys, the 2 young guys, they're not that relaxed. They have to prove themselves. Trent already proved himself. So it's just that effort and energy is the only thing we can ever talk bad about Trent. It doesn't put the effort into the defending, doesn't have the energy to defend. Bro, the muscle thing, bro. Adama Traore, bro, one of the slickest, buffest dude in freaking all of the lines in Euros a couple years ago. Man was jacked, unstoppable. So I see Trent.
Bring the baby oil,
bro. What Elliott struggles to do, Trent does easily, shifting the ball on his right foot, left foot, pinging it any way he needs to, bro. Like, Trent on the ball and dropping a shoulder and shimmying man from whether it's a 6 DM out wide, left foot, right foot. Trent is actually pretty decent as a footballer. I think I want to go on a limb and say he can play anywhere as long as he's willing to listen to the instruction.
Yes, that's going to be key.
Which brings me back to, I'm not saying he's a product of Jurgen Klopp, but Trent was already Trent, and then Jurgen Klopp said, yo, I want you to do your thing, but do it from here. I think that's all Jurgen Klopp said to him. I want you to do your thing, but do it from here. So all this guy has to do now is, I want you to do your thing, but do just point where you want him to do it from. I'm gonna be honest, don't be surprised if you see Slut on the sideline telling Trent something, and Trent is like, this guy. It's fair, and it's warranted. I've won everything doing me. Klopp didn't tell Trent do that fast free corner kick. He didn't tell him that. So Trent is one of them guys, bro. Do I really want Slut boxing him in and strangle him into system? No. So it's on Slut to prove he has what it takes to manage teams on this level, because you will have players that's bigger than the manager, and it's your job as a manager to, I'm not saying, stroke my ego or anything like that. You have to do this, that thing. You're gonna fuck off a few of the bad boys and just to accommodate some of the other bad boys. And if you're asking me, effing off Bradley for Trent, Bradley bye. Effing off Trey for Trent, Trey bye. It's just what it is, bro. I can't risk a breath of fresh air over tried and tested. We know what this man quality is. I've been said build a team around Trent. So you're gonna tell me for the love of the team, we're gonna let Trent go? Nah, man, build a team around him. Everybody else can tailor their shit to Trent. Trent been tailoring his shit to other men. So it's time for him to step up. Man, want the team built around Curtis. Sorry, Curtis, you caught a lot of stray, but I'm just using an example. I don't want it being built around Sabazalai. I don't want it being built around McAllister. I don't want it built around Salah anymore. If you're gonna build a team around a man, it has to be around Trent, bro. Whether that's in the right back, defense, I don't care where it is. But Trent has proven time and time again he's worthy of that, bro. You can't build a team around your 32-year-old guy. It makes no sense. Build a team around Trent, bro. You build a team around Trent, guess what you just did? You just swatted them sour flies from Spain. In a different world, the love of my life still, but you're getting them men off the radar. You know what I'm trying to say? Build a team around the guy, bro. It is what it is. You want to get rid of VVD and make him the captain? I'll second that notion. Just saying, make this man whatever the hell he wants.
G, nobody's standing behind you, man. Don't be scared. There's
no
to say.
I just sort of comment. I was like, what? Hey, don't do that, bro. Listen,
what I'm saying is, if we have to,
Virtual Van Dijk sneaked up behind you there.
Hey, listen.
If we have to cut off, I don't care whose head needs to go on the block to make Trent happy. Get it done.
Maybe that's going to be part of the contract. Maybe that needs to be.
But that type of contract can't be rushed, though, K-Mac. And I want people to keep it 100.
I agree.
Keep it 100 and just wait on that, because he will be Mr. Liverpool. Even if he leaves right now, he's technically Mr. Liverpool. But we really need to make sure that statue get erected, fam.
Yeah.
No BS, bro.
G, you want to say something on that? Because I have a question for Zuberi and his boy Steve in the chat.
Well, on Trent.
Yeah, no, I mean the topic that Zuberi was Zuberi and K-Mac was saying.
I think you can't build a team around the right back. I just don't see how that would work. That would be my only thing. And I think it's too many deficiencies with that. And even if you have a new system, I still think there'll just be mad deficiencies. You're trying to build a team around him at right back. Maybe if he moves midfield, and maybe it could work. You know what I mean? It might be able to work. I just think Trent needs to. I keep saying Trent needs to. The reality is the manager is going to tell you what to do. So if you don't want to comply with what the manager's telling you, then there's nothing I can really say in it. Like I can't.
But G, you do agree it's more on the manager though. It has nothing to do with Trent. You already know what Trent is, bro.
Yeah. I agree with that.
So it's just the manager to use him. So I can't really. You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, no, that's true. It's true. If the manager tells you got to do this, then you got to do this. Simple as. If you don't want to do that, that's now on you. I can't get mad at the manager because he's asking you to do something and you're just kind of not doing it, and then we're going to be like, oh, but it doesn't make any difference, because then the whole Curtis Jones thing doesn't make sense, because the reality is Curtis Jones didn't. You think he wanted to be sitting in midfield playing retention football? The guy was an attacking midfielder, left winger. Like that's what he was doing before. So he came in, did a job, and now he's here. So yeah, Trent's got to do the same thing.
Yeah. So this is the question for Zuberi and his newfound friend Steve in the chat. Again, it's one game, but I'm gonna say it anyway.
Go on.
Zuberi, do you think FSG and Edwards have done it again by appointing Slot?
When you say done it again, meaning picking the manager that
The right person for the job.
Well, no, let me finish rephrasing that,
Okay.
because you left it too open, so I'll just close that up.
Yeah.
Done it again, meaning picking the right manager who was the unpopular opinion from the public. Okay, just want to say that out loud.
No. Before you continue, then, because Jurgen Klopp wasn't an unpopular opinion though at the time.
It was him and Ancelotti.
And people were,
So what I mean,
I wouldn't say that was like an
No, I'm not saying like I'm not putting him down. I just said unpopular, meaning the popular vote was for Ancelotti.
Oh, okay.
So that's why I said unpopular, not necessarily like he wasn't popping.
But then, would you not then say then, because even getting Klopp, I think you were still kind of happy. People weren't happy getting Klopp. Like
to be fair, and the reason why I worded it that way is when I was talking to most of the people I spoke to, Klopp wasn't the popular decision. Now, to Bayesian Pops, I wasn't talking to you at that specific time. So maybe you had Klopp more popular than Ancelotti. Where I stood was the Ancelotti I knew, I rated him. The Klopp that I heard about, it just seemed very Dortmund specific. And Dortmund isn't my Bundesliga team. So then I was just kind of left with, well, whoever they pick, as long as it ain't Rodgers, I'm calm. So that's kind of where I was. So I was with either way, either route, as long as it wasn't Rodgers. So to your question now, I think it's way too early to give like a definitive, oh, they've done it again. Unless you're asking me more specifically, can this be one of those type of signing? I mean, it's written on the wall, to be fair. I'm seeing Dustin saying Klopp was a dream manager. When I hear Curtis, once again, you can only take this for face value because he doesn't have the experience for working with multiple managers. When Curtis is saying, best time of my life, best preseason, very organized. If the players are saying the right thing, that sends a message in the footballing world that us fans don't quite get. It sends a message to other players. Think about some players who's like, I'd love to come and play for Klopp, but it would deter by the actual players Klopp had. They weren't deterred by Klopp. Klopp had a pool where a lot of managers would have loved to get that hug. I mean, our players would have loved to get the hug. So when Curtis is saying things is organized, Leon Bailey, my fellow countryman, he's complaining about how things is unorganized on the international level. So organization for players is important. And right out the gate before the first season game start, people are talking about how organized this guy is. I mean, I'm looking at the dude and I'm like, bro, bald-headed people, no disrespect, they have a lot of struggle to keep that shit shiny every day, shaving head and face every morning. There's a lot of
keep it up. We keep it up.
That's what I'm trying to say, but it's a lot of attention to details. No, I'm not. I'm giving big credit. No. It's a lot of attention to detail to keep that up. So that actually adds quality to who we are as a man. So from just that, I feel like he definitely has something. I don't know enough if that something is enough to replicate Klopp. To replicate Klopp. You know what I'm trying to say? No, I'm not bored, bro.
Zuberi is definitely not bored.
So I don't know if it's enough to replicate Klopp, but it's Klopp. What I'm trying to tell people, and it's no disrespect to Klopp, I really appreciate making us exciting again. 3 years Champions League, 4 years Premier League, and then the rest of the trophies follow that. That means if Slot picks up the trophy, a trophy this year, he's already not beyond Klopp, but as far as getting it done wise.
Early,
So and that's how Arteta entered the fold. Remember when Arteta won the FA Cup second year? People were like, "Yo, Arteta did it before Klopp," and there was like this old Klopp and Arteta thing. Arteta's going into like his 5th year now, still ain't got the Prem, so he definitely fell out there. When you have potential, and surely this manager look like he has the potential.
Yeah.
If I'm Slot, and this is the only thing I'm backing Slot for, prioritize the League Cups, because it was something that Jurgen Klopp never prioritized early days. And I think it didn't do him any justice. Because had Jurgen Klopp retired with 3 FA Cups and 3 League Cups, his trophy cabinet would have looked a lot more healthy. And he effed it off for the first 3-4 years, which I don't understand why he did that. It's 14 games. 14 games to a trophy. Go get that done, my guy. Some of them I think is like 10 games to a trophy. Get it done. So for Slot, focus on them 10 games, man. Get us them trophy, because when you get trophy in, it's easier for people to accept you. So FSG had what? I'm not talking about the bring back of Kenny, but they had Rodgers, Klopp, and now they're going into Slot. As long as he doesn't do what Rodgers does, he should be fine. And if he can grab a trophy before Klopp, I think he will be okay as well. He's not going to be the greatest if he's winning League Cups and FA Cups and coming 6th and 5th. But if he's getting top 4 and grabbing 1 every season, it looks a lot better. So if every season he brings in a trophy, it looks good on the resume. Whether it takes him 4 years to win the league or 3 years for Champions League, it looks a lot better, man. So fingers crossed for him. This message makes it to him, and he says, you know what? I don't want to tell the fans I'm going for League Cup, FA Cup only, but in your core, bro, you have to go for those. Don't
win something.
Yeah.
What do you think, G? I mean, I know it's one game, but the thing is, it's not just Curtis is the only one who have come in and said something like, it seems like this guy know what he's doing. You know, so Bosalai alluded to some form, something like, things they could see the difference between the old regime, and of course we expect that everybody in the back office is new. So I mean, of course, this is I don't want to use the word premature, but I've said it. It's a premature praise to Slot, because he, in a way, let's just say he passed his first test, and that was show us that you have a plan, show us that you have a pattern of play, and I would say he did that. So if I were, Steve, I'm still waiting for your answer, man. If I were to say Edwards, because Edwards and Hughes are the ones who basically appointed him over Amorim, there's a gentleman who said he's not supporting Liverpool anymore because we didn't get Amorim. But do you think FSG and Edwards, because that's the two people that you are against or with, do you think they, like Zuberi said, have they done it again by appointing Slot?
I think this is I couldn't really answer that, to be honest with you, because like it's funny, but he goes and loses his first 3 games. Now what? Clearly, then everyone's gonna be like, "Well, what the hell? What did we do signing this guy?" Like all of a sudden, it just changes the whole.
But it can turn it around, though.
Yeah. No, he can turn it, but like your first instinct.
No, I know them ones, G. I know them ones, bro. Man, first game 4-0. You're like,
exactly, and this is what I'm saying. Like,
and then just go on a mad undefeated run after that.
Yeah. And this is what I'm saying. It's like, cool. Let's say imagine like, what if we had lost 4-0 playing crap yesterday? Oh, sorry, against Real Betis.
The universe
will turn upside down.
Yeah,
exactly. So this is what I say. But then you still have to give it. That's only one preseason game. You still got to give it that same energy. Has to be. Do you get what I'm trying to say? Because we don't know that maybe in game 2, 3, and 4 that we might actually start seeing, what he was trying to do, and etc. So listen, it's only one game. We'll see. Honestly, we'll see. I like it's really just give him the time. That's all we can do is give him the time. I don't like when people say, you have to give him. You give him however long you want to give him, whether that's the first 10 games, 2 years, a year, whatever. You give him whatever because obviously we've all got different perimeters that we want to see. Like we've all got that kind of limit where we're like, okay, I need to see this by this time. If I don't, then I'm gonna have at least a feeling about this kind of manager.
Could you tell us what your perimeter is, G?
I think maybe like in the opening like 10 or so games. Like I want to one, obviously the style of play, of course. I really want to see that. I think once I've seen that, then maybe that 10 pushes to 15, but also in the performance level of the team in itself. Because if for example, let's just say we lose our first 3 games, but we're playing all this nice football, I might look at it and just think, depending on obviously I'm not talking losing 4-0 every game. Then I'm going to be like, I don't care about your style of football because you're losing 4-0. But if it's more like, oh, we just didn't get the luck of the green, then I might be more inclined to think, I'll give you a bit more time. I'll wait till that 20th whatever game, or I'll wait till we get further on in the season, whenever that is, and then I'll start to look at you like as a whole and say, okay, this is kind of what. Because let's be real, really, after like 20 games, you kind of know what every team's gonna what they want to do. Now it's just about, can the team just implement that throughout a course of a season? Like once we hit that 20 game or 19th game halfway through the season, everyone knows exactly how everybody plays. You've played everybody, you've seen what they've done, you've given them a long enough time where you've given them a 10-15 game period to get the players back from injury and all that kind of stuff. You've been able to do that. So once you get to that halfway point, now I need to see, you know what I mean? I can really start judging you. If I don't think the team is going to move forward, if I don't have belief in him, then I'll say that. Like, and I don't need a whole season to
you don't need a
all of
season.
that. Like,
And I'll put you in a gray area with the team that we've always been in, and no one really measured this gray area. Draws. So 10 games, 5 wins, 5 draws. We already know 5 draws is way too much, but still undefeated. So then you stretch that to the 15th game, right? In the 15th game, it comes with 8 wins, 7 draws. And you're like, rah, the draws just keep going up. We ain't winning the league with that many draws. You see what I'm trying to say? So
no, facts.
But we're still undefeated after 15. So that is the gray area, because you're like, no one can beat us, but we still can't beat certain teams. It's
it's a gray
area. You see what I'm saying? So it is a gray area where you're looking at men like, yo,
know.
bro, you can't be drawing 7 out of 15.
But then he'll turn around and say, but I'm not losing the game. So
then you're measuring the football like, okay, was it down to minimum marginal decision? So that's why I'm putting you in the gray area, because that's kind of like what I'm looking at.
Yeah.
A lot of our losses and runner-ups, it's the draws that did us in.
The kill us, yeah.
But I don't want to go shot for shot, win or lose. You know what I mean? Some draws are important. They do add up. Yeah. Newcastle made top 4 with like 12 draws in one season. I'm just like, raw. So
the crazy thing is, I was like, okay, if we lose 4 games, right, and that's twice to Arsenal, twice to City, we still get 102 points. And then let's say I'll give Manchester United a draw at Old Trafford because for some reason we can't beat them over there. And then I'll give another draw to Everton for Derby's sake at Kudus Mbeumo. You still come out with 98 points. So 2 draws, 4 losses, you come up with 98 points. You win the league with that. And I don't believe City can go more than 95 points anymore at this point in time. So, Steve, I'm asking, has FSG and Edwards done it again by appointing Slot? That was the question. So with me, I agree with Zuberi. That draws used to annoy the hell out of me. I was like, and I think that's the reason why we didn't win the league this past season, because there was at least 5 draws that we should have never drew. 2 of them was Manchester United, Brighton, Luton. What was the other one? The Chelsea one is the first game of the season, so anything can happen. So that one, I'm like, okay, chalk it off. But when it comes to, like you said, in the middle of the season and you're still drawing to games you're not supposed to draw, bruh, what's going on? Why? So I think for me, my parameters coming for the season is how do Liverpool manage these draws, right? Sometimes I know you don't want to lose, but the draws cost you more points than losing. I'm sorry, when you draw six games halfway through the season, that's what, 2 times 6, that's 12 points you just draw. That's 4 losses.
It's mad, yeah, because I think when we look at someone like Slot, and obviously, I guess we'll just have to see when the season starts, right? Like, I just feel it's the same thing. If you don't, like, Klopp gave you a level of belief when he came, obviously a different state, I know, different players, and he had to keep getting better, but there was that in terms of every year, 6 months or whatever, the team was, you could just see, like, you could just feel the team was just getting better, getting better. We're doing well. We're Dortmund, you know, semi-final, Europa League, you know, getting to Europa League finals, Champions League final, kind of unexpectedly that season. I did not expect us, considering we started our season against Hoffenheim in the flipping Champions League qualifier, to then end it in the final against Madrid. You didn't see that coming. So when these kind of things happen, listen, you don't have to win the league now. Like Sabri was saying before, you don't even, winning the league isn't necessarily going to be a thing for you now, because you're taking the team to new heights. Obviously, we're in a different game state at this current moment in time. So, of course, the team is better. People want us to be doing X, Y, and Z. So he's now just more in a position where I just think, as long as you're playing good football and you're challenging and doing that kind of stuff, I think first year especially, people will be way more accepting. Obviously, how you go from there is where people are going to start saying, okay, you finished third last season. That's no problem. We challenge, blah, blah, blah. Okay, it's your first season. We want a FA Cup or whatever. Cool. You move forward. If you don't then move forward, you're stuck in the Arteta, you know, phase where it's like, okay, you keep coming second, but you're not really doing anything else. Like, it becomes that kind of, you know, that kind of battle. So we'll see, man. Big up, Albert.
Big up, Uncle Albert. You always come in late, like a typical African.
Before all my Ghanaians and my Jamaican, big up all of you.
Before we get out of Uncle, since you just showed up late, what did you see watching the Real Betis game?
I don't want to make any value judgments right now. I want to wait till at least I see one more Arsenal and Manchester United before I say anything. But so far so good. I thought I saw a lot of improvement in the development phase of the game, and I think I'll leave it there because the main characters haven't showed up just yet. So I think
wait,
let me just
like
answer.
you're speaking in quotes. When you say main character, can you give me a name so I know who the
I'm
main
talking
guy
about
is?
the big boys that went to the Euros and the
okay.
Copa. Yeah, they haven't shown up. So when they come, it's gonna be basically a reiteration of what went before them, and let's see how they adapt to it. Because somehow I think it's easier to teach kids than to teach adults. So let's wait and see. And just I want to respond to Bejan Reds. Yeah, I'm gonna see the Sevilla one because I want to dovetail and watch Brentford and Ipswich if I can get a ticket. So I'm going to see Sevilla on at Anfield. And I also didn't want to go to the ones in the States because I thought they weren't going to have the full complement. So I'm just going to go Anfield 11th and then 24th. Then I'll be back home on the 26th. So yeah, that's what I'm doing. But
Albert, you scared me for a second. I thought you moved to England, bro. The way you was
I
talking,
know,
was
this
like,
guy
wait a
is-
minute, man. This man skipped out all the US games.
I know. He's in Ghana right now.
Because I'm in Ghana. I told Kwesi my mom is not well, so I'm spending time with her, and I want to be here for Christmas with her. So yeah, but I could have come over, but I just didn't think I can.
Yeah,
I could
man.
see
Look
the whole
after the
picture.
family, man. Yeah, the stateside
Yeah,
game ain't
I
it
don't
either. The
think I could see
atmosphere in there, man.
I didn't think I could see the whole picture. I mean, I can come back and return after 3 days, but I just want to see the whole picture. So I think Sevilla will be a more complete picture, and then we go Ipswich, we go Brentford. As for Old Trafford, I'll never go and watch a match there. So end of story. I'll never go. That's like never.
Are you scared with a little bit of rain to fall on you from the roof?
No. Their supporters are very rowdy. So you don't want to be around Old Trafford when Liverpool have won a match against them. You don't want to be there. I'm too old to be beaten up by little kids. So yeah.
Yeah. So we have talked a lot. So you saying that the first game with me, personally, the rest of the preseason, I don't care about the win or losses. I just want to see development place, improvement. Can I see something a little different from the previous regime? Those are the things that I'm looking. And right now I could say, yes, whatever they did against Betis was not even, it was very rusty, in my opinion. The passes was not there yet. You can see what he's trying to implement. And personally, what he's trying to implement is not going to be fully implemented until next season, because that's when everybody has gone through.
I'm in full agreement, but you see, I saw some things. You know, sometimes we the supporters, and I add myself to it, sometimes we're a little impatient. I'll give you an example. We're crying, replace Matip, replace Matip, replace Matip. From what I saw of Sir Vandenberg, I think he's a good replacement for Matip. I thought he played very well. Very, very well. He was calm, he was assured, and you can see that he's going to mature in the loan spells. If you ask me today, I think they should give him an improved package and let him stay. What's the point in going to spend 50, 60 million on another Lenioro? And we also dodged the bullet with Lenioro. But I remember it was in your on your program that I said, I have been seeing him with a brace on his left knee. And I'm not too sure why. I think now we all know why. But I have to say, I really feel sorry for Manchester United. Paying £52 million for an 18-year-old who gets that kind of injury on your second game, you should know what's coming. They probably may have another Martial coming.
Why you always do this, Albert? You like
what?
I'll be vibing with you, and it's not like a big disagreement. But when you say you feel sorry for them for buying an injured guy, they did that last season. They're not doing nothing new. This is what they do.
Zuberi, I'm learning to be a diplomat. Wink.
No, we don't need Uncle, we don't need you to be the double agent and invade the camp. We don't need you're too precious. We don't need you doing that.
I've been criticized for being unfiltered. Do you really want
that's
me
who
to
you
say,
are. Yeah, say it with your chest. Yep, yes. Good
how
on them.
I feel about how I feel about picking up a kid who earns $2,000, €2,000 a week, and giving him 150K plus.
Yes, we need you to speak on that. Yes, don't. Okay. When it comes to United, Everton, Chelsea, especially. I don't want no Liverpool fan telling me I'm not going to shoot. I'm not going to kick the hungry dog. You slap him up.
Since you want me to kick a guy who is down, right? Couldn't have happened to a better bunch of fuck-ups.
That's it. Yeah. Albert, see, listen, man, when you're talking to me, I don't need diplomat Albert. I need you in the trenches shooting, because you see Everton, Man U, and Chelsea.
Well, good. You want me in the foxhole?
I don't take prisoners there. Yeah, I don't take prisoners there, man. Yeah, we don't take prisoners.
Manchester United didn't realize why Liverpool and Madrid passed up. Maybe we actually wanted them to go and spend some money. So they've actually
they don't have any more money to buy for another player.
Exactly. So for now, you know, they do this all the time. Manchester United do this all the time.
It's the same thing when they got Ronaldo. When they got Ronaldo and City played double agent on that.
Yeah, they overspent on all bunches of players. They actually had what that guy is he called Phil Brown or Phil something. He stayed there for 5 years. He didn't kick a ball, and he collected £100,000 a week. He just retired. What's his name?
The defender.
Yeah, the defender.
Where's Brown?
Where's Brown?
No. The Phil, the big guy.
Phil Jones.
Phil Jones.
Oh, Phil Jones.
Yeah,
bro. I think Eric Bailey is still on their books.
So if you don't want me to be the diplomat, couldn't have happened to a better bunch of fuck-ups.
I see like it seems like Rasta Crab is not feeling set. Real quickly, Zuberi, try to change his mind.
You know what? When we count the attendance, we got Krabs, Pop, Big Boss in the building. Big up all on the south. Sorry, I can't come and check you, man, Wednesday. Listen, man. I see you, man, squinging up, twisting up, grabbing for ginger ale because your stomach was getting upset when I was bigging upset on the Ensman channel, bro. Listen, man, let me tell you, man, something, bro. I'm not trying to convince you, man, of nothing. But if you, man, are going to look me in my eyes and tell me The very first preseason you see Seth played in when man just flicked him off the ball at the near post. And then you see him in this preseason. You're gonna tell me there's no improvement? Then I'm gonna be honest with you, man. I'm unsubscribing for your chat. I'm coming in there as an undercover agent, some whole new name, and I'm shooting up you, man, with facts, bro. Because there was improvement. I never said it was first team or even squad player improvement. I was just glad I saw improvement because that's what the game is about. The game is about improvement. The game is about getting promoted to this upper league and then enhancing your position in that upper league. So if Southampton finished 10th, we're going to say that's a big improvement for Southampton to finish 10th on just getting promoted. If on their second season, they go to Europa League, and then from there, we're like, yo, nah, Southampton moving mad. The progression is mad. Sepp has improved. I'm not saying he's lighting the world up, but in his first game, to me, and N's point, if we bought a $50 million defender and he did what Sepp did, all of us would have gone, you know what, man?
We got to play it.
Something might be there. Why we can't say that for Sepp? Why we can't say, you know what, Sepp? You've improved. We don't know if you're going to be, in the squad improve. Well, you've improved. That's what I'm asking for. Not overgassing it. Just tell me you saw some improvement. We can't give improvement to these men. All right. When Kudus makes a 4-yard pass, I don't want to hear no man overgassing Kudus. You know what I'm trying to say? When Carvalho finally dribbled past one player, because he hasn't dribbled past anyone since he's been at Liverpool, I don't want man to talk about, oh, he's silky. I want man to just remember it's one dribble. That's all I'm going to say. So you men are on tightrope with me, the whole Belgian camp. Tightrope this season. Now, I'm coming for Liverpool fans this season. Last season and the seasons before, it was the other fans. This season, Quasi, you're not safe either. Albert, keep it 100. G, you ain't safe either, bro. I'm shooting for Liverpool fans undervaluing our players.
Oh, then we on the same team then, because that's what I've been doing all summer.
Quasi, don't do that double agent.
That's everybody. I'm coming to tell him. I'm coming to
need to start valuing our players.
But my opening shot was that I thought Sir Vandenberg was very impressive.
No, you're good. No, Albert, you're good there. You're good there. For today, I don't know what you're gonna say tomorrow, but I want you to know. G, 2 streams in a row. You've been calm. I like that.
Yeah,
Quasi, I'm just saying, no one's safe. Oh, see now, man saying, nah, Zabir, I'm with you on. Now man switching up the tone. All right.
Nah, like I said before in the stream, I can't. My feelings on someone like Sepp is get him out of here, man. I don't want to see that guy.
For real, G, you wouldn't give man another preseason or 2, bro.
2, brother. You got to realize here, he's turning 23 in December.
Relax, man. We could have bought Euro. We could have had a Euro on our hands.
I would have preferred it.
Prefer Euro, but
you would have preferred him on crutches. Dude is on crutches.
Now he's on crutches. Obviously, that's Man United. At Liverpool, I don't think he'd have been on crutches. You know what I mean? Like,
you dodged the bullet,
listen,
man.
Look, it's. I think even if it wasn't Euro, whoever, I just think that someone like Sepp Vandenberg, like the guy wants to leave. Like he wants to know, am I going to play enough games? He's not going to play enough games, unfortunately, because the games he probably would get afforded will be like cup games. Liverpool get knocked out of the Carabao Cup. He ain't playing till January. You really think he's going to want to sit here till January, one twiddling his thumbs on the bench? He ain't going to happen, man. Like, and that's not his fault, because we've got Kwanzaa, we've got Van Dijk, we've got Konate. They're going to be the 3 ahead of him anyway. So his game time is going to be so limited regardless.
Konate is going to be a fruitcake. You know that he's always been a fruitcake.
But then if that's the case, then what Zabiri said is true. We should be selling someone like Konate then, because I don't want to have someone who
I don't disagree.
We can't even, like, we're sitting here and we know he's going to get injured. Players like him, you have to get rid of him. I'm sorry, as good as you are, you have to go, because you're more detrimental than you are, someone who we actually can rely on. Get someone else.
There's Zabiri is coming after all of us, and he wants Konate gone.
No. Listen,
he's not saying he wants him gone. He just more. I guess let me not mistake this.
He has to be available, right? He has to be available. At the best of times when we needed Konate last season, he wasn't there. So, what's the point? So I'm not saying they should sell him, but if they sell him, I'm not complaining.
What you have to realize, Quasi, is putting value on our own player,
Mhm.
what is Konate really worth to us? Think about this, what I'm saying.
Yes, sir.
If he goes down in a moment where we really need him,
Mhm.
and we've known relying on Konate for 30 games out of the 38 in the Prem alone,
Mhm.
we can't rely on a guy when we don't know when the next cup game is going to be because it's to be determined,
Yeah.
and we don't know if he's even going to be available at that time. So with Konate, it's like sparing the moment. Oh, he's fit. All right, let's use him then. Because we can't say, yo, all right, well, he's going to be around. We don't know if Konate is going to be around. You can't promise me 30 games out of Konate. So if I have a player like that who's not even 26, bro, I'm getting you off the books, bro. I need to be able to count on you, rely on you. I'm
He's
not
never
saying
done
Sepp,
30 games in any league in like.
bro, but what
the
I'm trying to say, I'm
league
not
in
saying
any
Sepp
league.
is that. I'm not saying Kwanzaa is that. But I'd rather settle with Kwanzaa and Sepp as a duo over just Konate. I'd rather rotate them two if they're able to. And that's all I'm saying. Gee, I would give him more games to see if he's trusted or trustworthy. I'm not saying he is, but I'd rather
I hear
take
you. No,
two
I hear
young
you.
guy over the one uncertain. Oh, yeah, he's ready. Let's go. Because if he's not ready in a moment when we need him and we lose that momentum,
Yeah.
now we're playing catch up. A cup game. I'm going for the 2 cups. I want a guy in there that I can rely on. Not, yo, we'll make it to the semis, but man got injured. I don't want to hear that with these injured men. That's what it is.
Remember, Zuberi, to your point, remember when Konate got injured? I think it was against the Czech side, right? The Czech, what's the name? Sparta something.
Sparta Prague.
Prague,
and then he didn't play the match against Man United, and I think that match he didn't play ended up costing us the game. So you have a brilliant point there. He's only as good as he's available.
Yeah,
If you have a lot of money,
but Albert, that is what the game comes down to. Like,
Yeah.
availability is your most valuable asset as a player. You can have all the talents in the world, bro. If you're not on the team, if you're not on the pitch, what good is it?
Yeah.
What is this? We're just gonna go to some pitching contest with some next man talking about, well, if all our players are fit. What do you mean if all of our players are fit, you can't beat us? Bro, they're not fit. So that conversation is stupid. What do you rank the defenders? Are we talking if all of them are fit or who's available? That's a dumb
Injuries
debate.
are gonna happen, but some players are always injury prone. Some players behave like fucking Jacob's cream crackers, right? They always crack at the slightest pressure. I mean, it's not their fault. Maybe it's their genotype, and that's it. But I can't make excuses for your genotype. It's like Kwesi, gee, I don't know if you've lived in Ghana before, but in Ghana we have a saying: "I've got plenty of money, but it's not with me." You know, when you're trying to chat up the girls when we're kids, and like, I've got plenty of money, but unfortunately it's not with me. So if you ain't got the money, you ain't doing nothing. See, Kwesi's laughing. He's done a lot of that. Kwesi has been doing.
That's kind of
Kwesi's
funny,
done
man.
a lot of that, man.
Yeah.
I've got plenty of money. I've
My
got
money's
plenty of
at the
money, but I'm
bank.
not. Yeah,
The way
I
my
can't have
account
plenty.
is set up.
Yeah, I have plenty of Konate. I have plenty of Konate, but he's a fucking fruitcake, man. I'm not even having that. And having said that, Jota also feels that conundrum.
All right,
If they ain't fit enough,
Albert. All
they're
right,
playing
slow
for.
down. I wasn't trying to run it out like that. I'm with
I
you.
know you guys are shutting, killing our player, man.
Albert. I'm with you 1,000%. But we have to do not the diplomat, but we just have to give him 1 teaspoon at a time. We can't just hold them down CIA with the towel over their head.
Man. No. You called for Genie. Genie's out of the bottle, bro.
I did, but I didn't know you was gonna go full, undercover, put the rag over the face and drench him out with the water. I didn't know you was gonna do that.
Let's dress back. Let's dress back. Let's put the.
But I'm with you. I'm with you though. But I'm with you. But geez, Albert, I don't know if all the friends are ready.
No, but we will see against Arsenal if Liverpool fans still want to keep set. Personally, I saw Arsenal match yesterday. They were not. It's preseason, so I don't want to say, but they were not that impressive.
I found my opponent, Rasta Crab, gassing upset. I hate that. Reactionary. I hate that because it's one game. I hate it.
Yeah.
Just please be honest. Any more minutes he's get or is gonna get in the future, just be honest with me, Rasta Crab. All I'm measuring him from is when I first saw him in that first preseason and this first game that I just saw. And from the two, I see improvements. It's not a guess up thing. Should he drop off? I'll be honest with you as well. But if he improves, you can't say, oh, just be honest. That's all I'm asking for.
Anyway, big up to Jamie Phillips from the Jamie Phillips Football Channel. Thank you, brethren, for coming through. Please, if you don't know who Jamie is, you better ask somebody. One of the hardworking content creators in the YouTube world, especially on the Liverpool side. If you haven't been in his channel, check out his channel. If you haven't been in G's channel, you need to go check it out. And of course, K-Mark was here earlier. Please do so. And then, of course, we have our Bejan family in the building. Go to the Bejan Reds channel to also subscribe. Trust me, if you haven't, you're missing a lot of. I don't follow too many, like Zuberi say, vet the people you watch. And there's only a few. Jamie is one of them. The Bejan Reds. G, of course, and then of course my brother Ensman, he's Hollywood, so him you have to send a jet before you could get him. But Jamie, you heard the conversation. Konate, keep or sell?
We'll keep at the moment because we ain't got anyone better. But everyone knows my issue. I think Konate is heavily overrated by the fan base. He's a bit of a bozo. He's a bit of a bozo. I think Kwanzaa's got better defensive IQ than him at times. But Konate at the same time can have one or two games that are just so good. You look at it and go, oh, this player can be the best defender in the world if he puts his mind to it. And then a few weeks later, he goes off boil. So obviously the talent's there. He's a very good player, but for me, I think he should be better than what he is right now. I haven't seen development since he came to Liverpool. Has anyone else? Has he actually developed since he came to Liverpool?
I would say
yes.
I would say yes.
The development is in one area. He used to ball watch a lot
and rush
ball watch as much. I didn't say he cut it out, but he used to always.
I was gonna say, like, I feel like it's cut out. Like,
no. If he ball watch 10 times a game, he's now ball watching 1 time per game. That's as far as I've seen him develop. But that is the development. I always give people, I don't care how small the credit is, I'll give them their credit. So the ball watching has kind of come to a little bit.
To Jamie's point, I don't think there's been a development where you're like, he's been here for 3 years. Obviously, yeah, we know he's been injury prone, but either way, after 3 years of him being here, he hasn't developed to a level where we would have. I'm being honest. I had him, developing a lot further than he's developed now, and I don't see it as like, oh my goodness, Konate is like, he's here kind of thing. Like, I'm not talking about him with the other top centre backs out there in the world. Like, I wouldn't do that. I'd be like, yeah, he's all right. Do you know what I mean? He's decent. And as Jamie said, on his day, someone put it in the chat, yeah, he'll pocket certain, I've seen it, he'll pocket Vinny or whoever. Like, I've seen him do it on his day. He can do that. But then I've seen him on his day look like an absolute Bambi on ice. And that seems to happen quite a bit. So I'm like, eesh, you know what I mean? There's no medium with him. I feel like at times there's always like, you're really, really good, or you just have really bozo moments. And it's like, we get onto Upamecano about this kind of thing. And I'll be honest, they're exactly the same type of player.
They're very similar. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
but at least Upamecano stays on his feet. This guy gets injured all the time. I mean, and
wait. Real quick, Albert. I don't want people listening, because sometimes you're listening but you're not hearing. No one here disrespected Konate's ability. We're only questioning his availability.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I said
availability is not a disrespect. It's a fact. We've seen his availability. When he's in, bro, we know what he offers, bro. But availability is in question.
Right. When you talk about how imposing he is, he's bigger than Veg. If you've seen him before, he's a huge motherfucker, man. He's bigger than Veg, so he can pocket anybody when he's on song. The problem is getting him on song. That's all.
I ain't gonna lie. When I watch Virgil and Konate on the pitch, when the camera does that fast shot, Virgil still looks more bigger than everyone else. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's just that, aura he's got, but he looks ginormous.
That's the
But he's-
aura.
The AI,
It's the
man.
aura.
It's the AI.
but with
That's an AI, yeah.
with Konate, look, my issue with it, he got injured, obviously. Kwanzaa came in, and Kwanzaa never left. Now, if Virgil got injured and Kwanzaa came in, would Virgil come straight back into the team? Don't matter how well Kwanzaa's playing. So people big up Klopp, best manager of all time, all this gaff. At the end of the day, he weren't liking Konate at the end of his Liverpool career. He just wasn't. So that's why there's questions that need to be asked. Is Konate that guy? Also, the way Slot plays, this is what other people have got to think about as well. Slot likes his defenders to play out from the back now. We've seen it in the pre-season game the other day. Saw it in the behind closed door game. If you watch the highlights there, he likes his defenders to, have that one touch, two touch pass it and have the guts to play the ball in tight spaces still and all that. Does anyone trust Konate to do that? I mean, this is the thing. We've got a different manager now. Slot, Konate literally lost his place to Klopp at the end of the season. Never got back in the team. And to a kid. And now we've changed to a new manager who likes to play out from the back differently. The way we played out the back under Klopp is completely different to the way Slot's doing it. Or you can already tell in one game. I don't know if that suits Konate's game. I have no idea. I mean, I don't know.
To be fair to Konate and to be fair to Klopp, at the end, I think it was Klopp seeing an impact to be made with playing Kwanzaa versus doing the same old school showing in a man. Because he's always shooed in certain players as soon as they come back off injury. He just shoot them in back in the team. There was no real reason for him not to run Kwanzaa in it.
Konate is the only one he's done that with. Robbo fit straight back in. Salah fit.
Yeah, so what I'm trying to say is
Virgil fit straight back in.
But shoehorning in Konate in doesn't make sense because out of all the other players, he's the only injury-prone one there. So that's why I'm saying I just want to be fair to say the only one he hasn't done it with is the injured-prone one. Robbo is an injured-prone. VVD is an injured-prone. Salah, Bobby, all of these players that were injured and come straight back in, they're not necessarily injury-prone. They're proven guys that Klopp actually trust and relied upon, where Konate never quite got that from him. He's always kind of take his time to bring him back. And last season, there was no real need to run him up back in there like that. So that's why, to your point, is him losing the spot. Yeah, it's true, but there's a little bit of context there. But with this new manager, we'll see who he wants to go with. But I wouldn't go for Konate, not because of his qualities, just the availability. Because why would I bench a potential gem because of this guy who I can't count on for 10 straight games? It's the same reason I'm not really over the top about Besetic. He's never given us a good 15. And I know he's young.
Oh, I'm with you on that.
So there's certain players, and Albert, knocked it a little bit. Jota, it's the same. I don't want to go forward with players who can't give me a good 15. The season is long. We need players that can at least carry the torch for 15, hand it off, catch his breath, come back again for another 15. That's how you win titles. You don't win titles by going 5, drop out, come back at 20, drop out. You don't win titles like that.
Do you think we just live in a world? I think Liverpool fans, maybe it's just me, but I feel like in our club, in our fan base, we have little cults. You got the Darwin Núñez cult where you can't say shit. You got the Jurgen Klopp cult where they're still talking about it today. You've got the Konate cult. You got all these little cults in our football club, and
you know what's mad about this conversation? You bring that up. I got on a Konate shirt right now, and here I'm talking about Konate. I just want to show you. I look at how old's Konate now? 25. Bro, Konate's my guy. 25. I got the Konate kit on right now, bro.
Should Konate be a better player? Should Konate be a better player right now in his development?
Better player, bro. He is.
Oh look, there's
guy.
breaking news.
Oh yeah,
not available.
The Endo situation. that Liverpool rejected a bid from Marseille.
Yeah, I would let
Oh,
him
this
go for
happened.
20, not for 14. He has to go for 20. I
Russ
don't
the
mind
Crab,
if he goes for 14.
Russ the Crab, if you don't know there's no Colts in this club, man, then you're there's massive
I would-
Colts in
No,
this
no,
club.
no, no. Colts.
I would
What? There's
rather
the
not
flipping
comment.
Nunes clowns and that. Oh, get
Oh
me
my
out of
god.
these losers.
I'd
man.
rather
These
not
absolute-
So we're
comment
not
on
going
it.
to talk
Why-
about
why
the
the hell
Salah
did they
fanboys
reject
and that.
Yeah, we don't want to talk about the
exactly.
Salah
The
fanboy.
Salah
Pops.
fanboys. You've got the the CJ Defense League. You got the Klopp Defense, bro. Like this club is literally built on a fan base that is just Colts.
The Trent Defense League.
The trends, bro. Listen, man. It's just mad. It's mad.
I just want the best players to play for Liverpool. Look, if Kanate, I think we can all agree there's something about Kanate where he could be special. I think we can all agree with that. But he's got too many moments in him that let him down too much. And obviously,
man,
the
I think you man are
obviously
the
injury issues.
The injury is the only thing on Kanate's back, bro. If you take
saying
the
that,
injuries away,
I've seen him make loads of bozo moments in his playing career.
yeah, but the Mozo, they're not. You see when Gomez and Matip had that good half of a season to run together and gel together and improve. Bro, when you get injured, you're almost taking a couple steps back, with your fitness and your sharpness. He's never had a full. So, Jamie, what I'm saying, you're not wrong, but the context is he's never had a full grind at his job. There's always breaks in between. So every time there's breaks, it's not like he's consistently going up. He's going up, dropping, going up, dropping. I want him to go because, bro, you're never going to really hit your peak if every season you're out for a month or two. You're not going to get there, bro. Your peak is when you're on the grind, chipping away, mastering the craft every day. Not mastering the sickbay table and the massage nurses.
I think injuries come down to the player as well. That's why the best players in the world barely get injured. I do think players have to look at themselves when they get constantly injured as well. What are they doing wrong?
I always say, you see stuff like that. I always take you guys back to Robin van Persie. Played under Arsenal, always injured. Every single year, this guy was getting injured. His first season at Manchester United, didn't get injured
the
once.
whole season. Yeah,
and I believe he said he changed his diet as well and everything.
Changed his diet, but it was all about the mind. It was all about
exactly.
You're at one of the at the time. Well, they're still one of the biggest clubs, but you're at a team where we're actually going for the Premier League, and this is a regular occurrence. He wants to win the Premier League. I'm not missing any games. Like, I ain't missing games. I forget injuries. I'm not missing games. I'm playing every week. Even if I've got to play with a little bit of a niggle here and there and I'm not 100%, I'm playing all the time. But as Jamie said, also, I'm changing up certain things that I have been doing behind the scenes. So whether that's diet, training regime or whatever, it was all about the mentality. And I think there was 3 seasons, I think he was there, or 2. And for 1.5 of those seasons, he never got injured. Never got injured once, which I found incredible. Like, how did that just change, like, all of a sudden, from a guy who was injury prone? Like, literally, if you looked at his injury list, every single season he was injured at Arsenal. Came to Manchester United, 1 season, no injuries. Like, that's crazy to me.
Talking about this real quick, so we could get out of here. I know, Jamie, you responded to this comment. I think it's from, I forgot his name, Archie Bird or whatever his name is. Do you guys believe that Liverpool chose not to sign Fekir because we didn't have money?
So what happened there with the Fekir deal? Look, this has gone way out. I swear people listened to this video and then made up whatever they wanted after. So he never once said, so basically he said, look, we had this big transfer window for 12 months starting with Virgil in the new year, going all the way up to the summer, where we've got so many players in it. It was our best ever transfer window at that time. And Fekir was going to come through the door. Jurgen Klopp, what people don't realise is that Jurgen Klopp bought Karius, right? He wanted Karius,
to keep it,
and he wanted to keep him because he thought, I've got to prove it right that he can do the job. But then Karius's brain melted and he just couldn't play football anymore. And we went in for Fekir. Obviously, what happened with Fekir, he wanted more on his contract when he did the interview, and they said, no, you signed a deal. That is what it is. And they didn't want to do anything. So because of that, they used the money to go and buy Alisson Becker, which I don't see the problem because Fekir's dog shit. So I don't really see the problem. And instead of buying Fekir, we went and got Big Shaq. Yeah. And Shaqiri was a decent player for us. He just didn't get used correctly. So I don't see the problem with this. Like everyone's going, well, we should have got Fekir and Allison. Everyone forgets that summer we had. You know, the players we got in, we spent so much money. It's not like we didn't buy anyone. It's absolute garbage. But this is where people just like can't like. Why can't we have this one? Well, I'm glad we didn't get Fekir because he's dog. The reason he's been at Real Betis this whole time because he's dog. You know, he's not a very good player. Simple as that. And we got lucky.
No. To be fair, at the time he was a very good player. He was in France. He was in the national team, and he was actually on the come up. But hindsight, look at him now.
Dog. Yeah, he's dog. So we got lucky. We got the best goalkeeper in the world. Who cares?
For me, I think the reason why we didn't get Fekir is the same reason why we didn't get Kefren Turam. Relatives asking for too much money. So we didn't get him. And if it is the case, according to what John Afterberg said, that we didn't get Fekir and we got Allison, that's fucking fantastic judgment. Because Alisson Becker saves us 15 points every year. I can't lie. Last season, I can count the 15 points he saved us. He saved us 3 points at Crystal Palace. He saved us 3 points at Newcastle. Keep counting. You remember. I'm talking about point blank saves that nobody else makes. So if that was a trade-off, it's a fantastic trade-off. So I'm not even quibbling about that.
No.
And like Jamie said, Fekir is Fekir. He's absolutely dog crap.
And even if the stories ain't true about the brothers and the agents and all that, and Liverpool just looked at it and thought, right, we need a goalkeeper. We haven't got enough money left in the bank. It's either Alisson Becker or Fekir. And they turned around and went, you know what? Let's dump this Fekir lad and go and get Alisson Becker. Then they still made the right choice, didn't they? So it doesn't matter either way, does it? You know, it weren't like it weren't, you know, we did go win Premier League and Champions League and stuff like that and still buy players. The problem is that we kept players around for far too long after them years, weren't it? And that's why it looks crap now. But at the time, I weren't bothered. I don't know anyone who was.
I just want to quickly touch on this injury thing and the coaching, the backroom stuff and the injury. I don't know whether any of you guys watched the open training today. Yeah. And I don't know whether you noticed that Slot was training the players on only half the pitch. Apparently, he does that to prevent injury.
Yes, it's a recovery. It's they just played. What did they play yesterday? Right?
2 days ago.
2 days ago.
The training was done on only half the pitch. It struck me as maybe something strategic to prevent the kids from getting injured, which is a good thing.
So what I get from what you just said and where you got it from, anyone who's getting injured in this coming season, it's not the system or the manager then, because when he said he doesn't even train the youngsters in every session, that tells me he's looking after the players in even a different way. So in Klopp's system, it was just a mass training. It wasn't like, oh, you coming on Mondays and Wednesdays. He seems like he's really shifted that.
With Klopp, it was SmackDown, man. Friday night.
Yeah. So from what you're saying, I'm gonna use that now to measure who's getting injured, if it's a knock or if it's just a muscle thing, or because like even Kudus went down. He didn't get kicked when he made that pass. He made the pass and he kind of just made a funny little step. So it wasn't knock injury.
He's another one. He's another one on your list. You know your list, Zuberi's list.
Oh yeah. And I think it was Crab asking. Yeah. Jota, I'll let Jota go as well. We need to let some people go. We can't just say sign, and no bye. We need to tell some man bye, bro. Great Kanate, but he's one of them.
I know, he's been waiting for this.
I'm gonna turn this some bitch upside down right now. First off, I'm gonna do my formalities. Jamie, my brother, big up. G, my brother, big up. Uncle, big up. Quasi, big up. Zuberi, you misfit, big up. But listen to me. I come in at you right now. Don't loop me in the same category as Crab and Pops, okay? I actually watched Set last year and I saw improvements in Germany. He looked tidy in the first game, picking the lines, looking well defensively. I will analyze him at Arsenal in Philly in a couple of days, live in person, okay? Now, do I say he should be a starter? No. Do I think the kid deserves a chance? Yes. And here's my reasoning why. And y'all point on it. Konate cannot be relied on. He in the same categories as Jota. Availability is an issue. We only have technically 2 full-time center backs along with Konate. Because Matip gone. We got Nat Phillips, and we've done that boy bad. He probably won't be here, and he can't be a starter or even a squad player for Liverpool. Let's all be honest. You're going to need Seth because we don't know if Liverpool's signing any other center backs. We could always want. I'm watching you two, Pops. Don't worry. You guys are my running mates, but I got you guys in the on the radar. Don't worry. What are we gonna do? Get rid of Seth, and then we're relying squarely on the 3 center backs that we have. If we don't sign no one, Konate goes down injured. Now you're just relying on Kwanzaa and flipping Virgil. That's it. Nobody else. No rotation. No nothing.
And Gomez as a utility man all over the place. It's not a good look.
We got to be smarter than that, man. He ain't no Konate. He ain't no Matip. Pops. You're right, but the kid is good defensively. He's tidy with it. I saw him in the game against Betis, picking the lines, going in between the 2 players, trying to press him, looking calm on the ball. He didn't look flustered. Endo looked shaky against that Betis team, and I don't know if you guys got any comments about that, but Endo gave away the ball a fair amount of time against
I don't know why
Betis
they didn't
team.
take the 14 million, man. I don't know why they didn't take the 14 million.
Nah, we're waiting for 20. We're waiting for 20, man. We're waiting for 20.
That's my comments. Jamie, you agree with my analogy or not? Because I know you're thinking really the same lines as me.
Yeah, look, with Jota, I've said this a time now. If Jota only plays 20 games of the season, he's the best player in the world for playing 20 games a season. Who am I going to go and buy that will probably stay fit for a whole season that will do better than Jota for 20 games?
Watkins.
Yeah, but he's an out-and-out forward.
Tony.
No, Tony's bollocks. Tony's shit. Tony's heavily overrated. Heavily overrated. You know,
availability cannot be.
I think Jota gives you more in 20 games than what any like.
But Jamie, which 20 games though? Not the
20 games in the whole. Right? 20 games in the whole season. I guarantee you, Jota will get.
So I want
20
games to be. I want his 20 games to be against Arsenal, Manchester United, Man City and the likes. Not Pago Bay United in the fucking Dromedary Cup.
It don't bother me. I wouldn't have Tony anywhere in my team.
No. But Jamie,
Tony's heavily overrated.
Yeah, we don't want you to really get sidetracked with the Tony thing, but the point of the matter is, you're winning the league. You can't just win the league by going, because here's the thing with your 20 games, to Albert's point. It's not 20 games that you choose.
Well, we don't know what games he will play in.
No, but that's what I'm saying. So when you're saying 20,
yeah,
it might not be like in the ones where we really need him. You see how Salah was playing in that 9-0, but didn't score on none of the goals. Like,
yeah,
we don't.
3 of them, didn't he?
Yeah, but what I'm trying to say is with the Jota, bro, if we're going to win the league, if a Liverpool fan is going to tell me we need to win the league, we can't just say, yeah, we'll put Jota on ice and then we'll just run him for the 20 games that he's available. Bro, that's not really going to get us the league now, is it?
Yeah, I personally think it is. I think Jota in your team is better than half the forwards in the Premier League.
It's not about half the forwards in the Prem, bro. It's about 20 games. You can't have a backup guy, so Jota is your backup.
I would rather have Jota as my backup guy than having Luis Diaz for a full season.
Sheesh.
So I'd rather have Jota as my backup guy, get rid of Luis Diaz and get a better goal scoring left winger in. Then I'm fine with Jota for 20 games in the season.
All right, that statement right there, I'm with you, but we need to narrow this in. Where's Jota position on the pitch for you?
Jota plays anywhere along the front 3.
Anywhere across the front 3. So you're starting on the left at the moment, Diaz, right? Based on what you said?
Left or central, yeah.
No, I'm trying to see who your front is so I can see why you're using.
Oh, if I'm starting the season, I'm playing Gakpo, Jota,
Nunes,
Mo Salah. That'd be my front 3.
So that means Jota isn't a backup then, he's a starter.
Yeah, it's a starter, yeah.
So who's your backup? That means you need a Darwin's
your backup. Darwin's your backup, and you go and get a goal scoring left winger.
We can't win the league with that though, Jamie, man.
Who
Because
says?
you're only getting 20 games out of Jota. How are we going to win the league? So
I'm
with
fine
20
with
and
that.
0, Jota goes down. Now with 20 and probably 10 by the time Jota comes back. We can't win the league, bro.
I'm fine with that. I'm absolutely fine with that because the problem is you go and get another attacker in who plays 38 games. Say you go and get someone in like Luis Diaz, yeah? Luis Diaz will play 50 games a season and have less GA than Jota, who plays 20 games a season.
You're not wrong when you use
So why would I
Diaz.
get rid of?
But-
So why?
No,
would I
no,
get rid of
but
Jota?
why you're not using Nunes? That's what I'm trying to understand. Why you're not?
Oh,
going with-
Nunes the same in. Nunes and Jota have very similar GA.
So you
why
guys,
keep these guys then, Jamie? What I'm
I'm
trying to
not
say is,
letting. I'm
if
not.
you're
I'm
gonna
not letting
keep,
go of Jota.
I'd rather let go of Jota and get somebody that's better than the other two than keep Jota and keep the other two.
so what about Isak?
Yeah, Isaac can go for Darwin. I'm cool with that.
You're just not letting Jota go. So you're in a Jota
Ah.
quote then, Jamie, from what you're saying.
Who would you rather keep? In all honesty, Jota or Darwin? Who's
I
a better
think that was
goal
a question.
scorer?
No, I think that was a question for Asian Bonds. I don't think.
Who's-
I think that was the
guys,
Asian Bonds question.
I'm keeping
Don't
Jota
deflect.
all day. I am keeping Jota all day over Darwin.
Yeah, me too.
Bejan, which one are you doing? But I
Oh,
guess
keep
this
it
is
short.
this is the news that Fabrizio. I guess this happened weeks ago. It's just coming out. Sorry, Bejan. This was the Endo situation. This happened weeks ago, but I guess James Pierce just heard the news. Liverpool works in silence, people.
It's a bit. I tell you what, it's a bit alarming though that we're not selling a DM. I'm just saying.
It's not alarming from where I'm standing because I was talking to G as well earlier and Enz and Savage, where I don't think fans are quite aligned with the club's philosophy. Probably the reason why there's like FSG out conversation. If the club is thinking we'll use Endo as a placeholder while we groom the best six in the world and then go dominate, I don't think most fans will be happy with that approach because they'll look at that approach like, oh, so you're not trying to win the league now, which is a fair point. Because going and buying an out-and-out DM, it's not going to guarantee us the league, but it kind of F's off all the kids that's in that position that we're grooming up for this position. So I'm fine with either one because I don't think none of them really guarantees us the league in the future or now. But I don't want to make it about the one guy who's in the spot now. I mean, he's there. Is he the best? Nope. So is other people on the pitch. They're not the best either, but no one seems to care about those guys. So it's just weird. But for me, if we're not selling them, I'm not up in arms. As long as we groom the best six or one of the best, I'm good with that. If it's buy a new six and get rid of them, I don't even care. I'm not in no camp with nothing. I just buying a six now doesn't make us win the league now. Grooming the best six in the next 3 years doesn't mean we're gonna win it in the 3 years either. So
I don't know. Right, Liverpool. Would you agree with me here, Zabiri, that last year Liverpool's problem was they couldn't win games 1-0. They couldn't win games 1-0. We had to win 2 or 3 or 4 to get a victory, weren't it?
Yes.
You know, if Liverpool get a more defensive structure behind them with Slot and get a quality DM in there with the midfielders that we got, then if we win more 1-0 games.
I have to agree with Jamie. I think Caicedo would have won us the league.
No. But what you guys are doing, you guys are mixing two different things, and I'm gonna entertain the convo, but I just want the convo to not mix two separate things. Defensive structure and a defensive midfield is two different things because you can have a defensive midfield without the defensive structure.
Yeah, I agree with that because
which one was it really? Was it the structure or the position? Because I don't think it was the position. I think it was more so the structure.
The structure was horseshit. We all know that.
So if it's the structure, then we can't blame it on that position.
No, you still need a DM. I mean, if you look at all the best clubs in the world, they have DMs, don't they? I mean, it is there for a reason. But look, we've seen Endo can't do.
Our problems began after Fabinho went downhill. Oh,
yeah.
Whose fault was that?
Wait, why is Uncle wearing a neck brace? Who is he trying to convince? Schedule insurance scheme.
No,
Nah, man. Remember, Albert he always had the little thing from jet lag and.
I just came back from the village. I was actually wearing it all the way through. It's a 3-hour drive and it's cold. It's cold up there. So.
Okay, quick question for everybody and people in the chat. Please subscribe to Jamie Phillips' channel. Michael said go to his channel, go to GTV, and then of course Bajan Red's channel.
Yeah, and check out that upcoming civil war on that Bayesian channel because I know
it's
man ain't safe no more.
It's coming, please.
Bonds ain't safe no more.
You know how much I appreciate you. I actually parked by the roadside to talk to you.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you.
And the police came hurrying me up. You know how Ghana police be, man. They're fucking trying to pick my pocket. I had to move along.
Yeah, Jamie, to your question, a better 6 would have got us saved some of those draws. The draws is what really did us in, and a better 6 could have saved us. Because remember when Trent went in there, we lost goals and some possession even when Trent went in there. And to other teams with better 6, what the 6 having those better teams or better support from left and right back. Yeah, left and right back. We don't really necessarily have that. So and then they also have better midfielders that can come in and support that 6 when he's by himself. So it's I don't look at it as the position, I look at it as the system. Because the system was what was dog shit. The position could have helped. But why would I put Band-Aid on an amputated leg? The amputated leg is the system. We didn't have one. So getting the best DM in the world wouldn't necessarily saved us. It could have turned some of those draws into clean sheets, and that would have been a win. And to your point, we wouldn't have to outscore the opponent or come from a goal behind.
Yeah,
we were getting run through the middle very easy. A 6 could have helped, or we could have just gotten $160 million 6. And the 6 is looking at us like, this is what I come here for. Shit set up. So it's one of those ones where I don't want to put it on the 6. I'll put it on, system. But
yeah, because how many games last season we had to come from a goal behind or behind in the game in general?
Almost a third of those seasons, the whole third of the season.
But was it all down to a 6 though, Bonds? So that's kind of like, I don't know.
I
think the structure.
I think it's a structure. Plus, I think we needed a better 6. And I think the inverted thing killed us last season, to be honest.
Yeah, the thing with the 6, what it does, it changes your team. Like we saw it to the end of last season when Endo came in and was playing all right. It released McAllister to do his thing, and it looked like the player that we went and bought. We've already seen Szoboszlai in this pre-season. He isn't going to do the box-to-box thing that he did last season that didn't suit his game at all. Slot decided we didn't have a striker at pre-season. No, you know what? I'm going to do something different and play with 2 10s. I like that. You're thinking outside the box. It got a better, and that's the best I've seen Szoboszlai since I think October, that pre-season game. So yeah, look, I just think getting that DM in, if you had someone a little bit better than Endo, if you had say Zubimendi in that team last season, straight away you're releasing McAllister. You're probably not letting Szoboszlai do what he had to do. It helps players like Curtis Jones who can maybe sit back a little bit more and go with him and let McAllister get forward, let Szoboszlai get forward. So it opens up the midfield a little bit. And I think that's what if we could just get that and say, I am sick to death of coming back from behind in every single game. The structure needs to change. There's no doubt about it. And have you seen that table of someone they made a Premier League table after 38 games, but only 15 minutes played? Liverpool got relegated because we conceded so many goals. In the first 15 minutes in every game.
That makes sense. That's a good laugh, right?
and that's a structural thing, it's just not a player thing.
That was structure. Yep.
Yeah. Jamie, you made a good point there. When Endo was at his peak and playing well for us, we also weren't inverted because Trent was injured out at that time.
Yeah, Conor Bradley.
Yeah, Conor Bradley.
And guess who looked good the other day, pre-season again.
But see, so since Jamie, so you see that point where we're at now when we're looking at it as the big picture. That is why I'm not really fussed about keeping Hendo or losing Hendo, because as long as the system is right, an average player can really walk in. And that's even my point with the ownership and Edwards. Before Edwards left, when Klopp was around, it's the same thing I was saying when I was saying, yo, maybe Klopp isn't the right guy, because if we have a good structure, anyone should be able to come in and fit straight in. Remember, Fab was like an unsung hero out of nowhere, fell in the perfect Brexit setup and was cooking. We lose that setup. No, but we lose that setup. Jamie, stay with me. We lose the Brexit setup, and then Fab just looked like shit. Be honest.
No, I said I agree with you that. I said like we had too many creative midfielders in our midfield last season, and that's not Klopp's game plan, which was a bit of a weird one. But yeah, with Fabinho, thing with Fabinho though, Fabinho at his time was a world-class DM, wasn't he? So,
but you can also credit the system for creating that. Same thing for Mane and Salah and Bobby.
He was quality at Monaco as well. But I get your point. Look, systems do create the players. There's no doubt about that.
So, guys, in this day and age, I mean, some of us are dinosaurs, but in this day and age, where you pass the ball from the back instead of the goalkeeper simply hoofing it and getting a Tony Cascarino to head it onwards and forwards, you definitely need a decent halfback. So let me just talk about those who are there that we can get. Those who we can't get, forget. Ederson makes us a better team. Holman makes us a better team. Zubimendi, oh, what a fantastic player. He makes us a better team. And I could go on and on and on and on. Richard Rios. Richard Rios, for those of you who watched the Copa, I had never heard of him.
No, Rodriguez as well for was it Argentina?
Exactly. So we could go on and on and on and on. Ezequiel Fernandez for Boca.
Just don't call Ugarte his name.
No.
Yo, even the one that went to Juventus, my man, the Brazilian.
You will never, if you ever hear me mention Ugarte's name, take me to court. I will never mention his name because dude is always on the floor. I don't know whether he's a jiu-jitsu fighter or he's always on the fucking floor. I hate that, right? He doesn't progress the ball. He doesn't do fuck all with the ball. He just gets himself yellow cards. By the 20th minute, Ugarte has a yellow card. Bring him into the Prem, and every other game he's off. Forget him. I'm talking about, I mentioned Holman, I mentioned Edison, I mentioned Richard Rios. Rios is a Palmeiras player, and yet they have an 80 million pound release clause on him because he's that good.
Yeah.
There are others, Fofana, there are others we can get. But I think that in this day and age, when you want to pass the ball from the back, if you don't have a decent halfback who actually wants the ball and not somebody who wants to shed the ball like a snake that has swallowed the boiled egg, then you really if Liverpool had a decent halfback last season, what he does is he squeezes the back four. So the guy has to be press resistant. He has to be decent in possession. He has to be able to make forward movements like Trenioni did for our goal. I'm not saying get him as a DM, but I'm just saying get somebody who wants the ball, who wants to do something with the ball, as well as put in a decent tackle, a decent shift if need be. They are out there. They should go and get him. Anybody who says we are waiting for Pacetic to become the guy, you are not serious. We are not Fulham, right? We are not fucking Fulham.
But anyway, before we get out of here, on Tuesday's match, Wednesday's match, and I know Barnes is gonna go watch it. What are you guys looking for? Like maybe one or two things you're looking for. Starting with Zuberi, please.
What am I looking for? Oh, geez. I'm looking for. Well, I already seen that. I'm looking for movement in the front. Movement in the front, meaning I think in this game, correct me if I saw it incorrectly, it looked like a 4-2-4 where there was on the left, there was Carvalho going across. We had Elliott, Szoboszlai, and Salah. The only movement I saw out of them four was Szoboszlai and Salah
switching
sparingly. It was like one or two times.
Yeah.
On the other side, there was no movement. And I'm like, if Elliott is left-footed and can't come into the pitch, then he should switch with Carvalho, who wants to come inside, and then Elliott can just do the byline thing and whip across in. We don't know Elliott for whipping in dangerous cross, so that wasn't part of it. So I want to see more movement across the front, whether it's a front four, front three. I need to see my right guy on the left guy on the right. I need to see movement because that was limiting what the guys on the ball deep can do. There's no point in getting the ball and turning, and there was no movement. It defeats the whole purpose of turning at that point. So now we're saying, oh, this guy needs to turn. Why would I turn if there's no movement? So that is what I want to see in this game. That's the only thing that was missing in the last game. I need to see it in this game because everything that I saw outside of that was good. Front movement was poor. So that's what I want to see.
Yeah. Uncle Albert.
What do I want to see? I just want to see better structure in and out of possession. I just want to see. I don't want to see. Maybe I digress. But what makes some of us jealous of Man City is you have Rodri in the middle who allows you to throw 4 midfielders up in a high press, higher end of the pitch. He also allows you in defensive transition. He allows you cover. He's also able to get you John Stones to come and invert when need be. So I just want to see a better structure for us. I don't want to see that all over body deodorant thing that we do, like all over. I don't want to see it. I want to see better structure. And if I see better structure, if we have better structure, then we can think about where to plug who we want to plug. So in a way, I have to say I get the administrators and the coaches of Liverpool approach that we are waiting to see everything. That's the common sense approach. Of course, the fun approach is that, fuck it, get somebody already. Let's see what they do against Arsenal. Whatever they do, being a Liverpool supporter, I don't want an L against Arsenal or Manchester United. I just don't want to see it. That's all.
Yeah, Jamie.
No, I like what I saw in the last game. I don't know if you guys have spoke about it, but he wants his keeper playing out with the back with short, sharp passing. Doesn't actually suit Alisson Becker.
I was thinking that.
But yeah, I don't know. Look, we haven't got really a striker available yet to see the full team, how he'd actually line it up. You haven't got, if Jayden Downs was fit, you'd have a 9 there that we could play a little bit differently, a bit further up. He's playing with 2 10s at the moment. I think it'll be exactly the same starting lineup that started against Betis in the first half. I don't think so. Curtis Jones is fine. He's not actually injured, is he? So he's fine. But I would start Stefan instead of Endo. And I bring Tinioni in as well after his excellent cameo in that midfield as well. I just want to see how the style keeps going, how the play, how we're playing out from the back. We're going to play against a better opposition in Arsenal. I like to see how we're going to defend as a team against Arsenal's attack. Interesting game, man. I'm looking forward to it.
You're going Basetic and Curtis in that 2 in the middle?
No, I'll probably go with Stefan and Tinioni in that midfield.
Oh, okay. And then bring on Jones.
Yeah, and then bring on Jones and Endo in the second half. Just give it a go.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
I don't care about the results, to be perfectly honest.
Yeah. No. It's pre-season, man. I just want to see what that combo looking like for you.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
If I do see it, I'm like, yo, Jamie got what he wanted. So when the season ends and you say you didn't get what you want, I'll be like, nah. I just want to. You got it.
I want to see how it goes. And with Stefan,
I don't think Jones is going to play though.
Yeah, he's fine. I think it was just a strain.
He didn't train today.
He didn't train today.
What you looking for when you pull up in that stadium there, Bonzi?
Yeah, Bonds. Yeah, what are you looking for?
I'm similar to you, Zabir. Looking for movement. I want to see the combination again, and they tried it a couple of times with Kwanzaa dipping the ball over the back of the defense onto Salah. It worked. It worked a couple of times. Salah just miscontrolled it. It seemed to be there. He was checking the run and picking up Salah. I want to see him use that a little bit more. But yeah, the movement and then the I want to see a lot more movement on the left because I saw Nanzabir. I was the same as you.
Yeah,
But yeah, I
we're
agree.
stagnant over there.
Yeah, I kind of want to see. I want to see Bicetic start this game, and then see what he can give. But Trey looked really, really good. He really, really looked good. Yeah, and I'm like you guys. I'm not looking for a result. I just want to see some movement, and I want to see how they want to play, and then play good defensively, and see if we get a result. Great. If we don't, it's preseason, right? This is just to get the guys in shape.
Yeah.
That's all.
Hey,
that
watch your
matters.
back, man. Give me a shout when you pull up, because I don't know if the other Asian man them they might say you're not like them. You know what I'm saying? You agree with me a lot, man. Nah, Pops and Crab had it out for me, you know.
I don't
day.
want Arsenal to beat. I don't want Arsenal to beat us, man. I just don't want them to beat us. I don't care.
Let them talk. Like I said, from what I saw yesterday, I was not
worried about Arsenal.
Yeah, I was not over concerned with what Arsenal did not impress me. So did Manchester United. I think Liverpool, for it being our first match, we have silenced the rivals. They're looking at it like, oh, Liverpool may have something here, right?
I think we look really solid, though, Kwesi. I think we look.
No, we
really
do. But as I say, we were still rusty. The passes, because it seems like we will invite the pressure. I think from now on, the pressure is not going to be an issue. This is the part where I agree with Jamie a little bit about the Alisson. We know Alisson can kick.
So, Kwesi, one more thing.
Yes, sir.
Sorry, guys. So I'm also looking for more from Salah. Going into this game, I wasn't really expecting anything, but 72 pass accuracy, 0 shot accuracy, no shots on target, 0 successful dribbles, 0 accurate crosses, 0 accurate long balls.
But he gave you the assist, bro.
Then,
He did.
Yeah, but
what I'm trying to say is this guy, he's on a decent wage. He is the marquee guy. He had the armband. We're going to need more because that assist, if we're being fair and we watch the game, that assist, I would more give it to Sabazalai or Trey before I even give it to Salah. Because the breaking the lines to Sabazalai, turn, laid it off to Salah. He had one job. Give it back to me.
Yeah.
So
and there's the thing.
That's all he had to do, Albert.
Yeah.
So I can't credit him. He played a decent amount of minutes.
We've seen people not give it back before.
We've seen him not give it back before. But I do want more from him. Is all I'm saying. I want more from him.
What I will say,
I will
say, and I agree with Uncle on, and I digress in a little bit from Liverpool. You see that Frenchman that Manchester United just spend that boatload of money with the macaroni legs. Bro, he's gonna.
He rolled his ankle, right?
Listen, I don't care what he do, but you see them legs gonna get pop off in the Prem. He going up against men. He in League On and expect to go in the Prem with them chicken legs and expect to do something. Yeah, remember I said so.
But this is the thing that I think Beja and I agree with Zuberi was. We can't go off one good thing that one person just want. You do one good thing.
It's not like I don't want you to highlight the one good thing or the one. But all I'm saying is, yeah, he did one good thing. I'm not taking it from him, but the rest of the categories we need.
That's what I'm saying. I want you to do more. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
give me more sample size.
That's what we're asking. That's what we're asking of Diaz, Nunes,
everybody.
Everyone that we've mentioned before, we're asking for more. Like if you're the winger getting one assist, we're expecting you to have at least one assist. We're not expecting the goals, but bro, your passing accuracy needs to be up. Crosses in the box, whip one in, backstick. I don't care if it's the same dead backstick cross. Whip one in, create. You didn't create anything outside of that one assist. So
remember at the beginning of the conversation. Remember at the beginning of the conversation, I said this new style of players, setting players that we even love. They're gonna get exposed. You know, you have to think fast. You can't try to be ISO all the time. But we'll leave it there. You know, we've been here for over 3 hours. So big up to Zuberi for coming. Thank you so much, Kenel. I appreciate your blessings.
Yeah, I'm back, man. Plug back in.
Okay, then I think I'm gonna have something.
Take times off in the off season as well. Don't get too deep into the spaces and look after yourself and your families, man. You know what I'm saying? But football is back, so I'm back.
Yes, sir. And you're on mute, Pigeon.
Zuberi, I disappointed. I ain't see you in Philly. You let me down. I just
yo, where's my work phone?
You let me down.
Listen, man, I can make it. I'm on a mission, and don't want to say the mission is more important than football, but it actually is, because I only have one life to live, and Liverpool has been around for hundreds of years. I don't know if I'm going to be here for hundreds of years, so I have to make sure all of my moves are correct. So,
no, you ain't. Otherwise, you become a tortoise, man.
I mean, I don't want to be none of that stuff that Ghana people, you know, big up the African proverbs and that, but I'm only here for a short period of time, bro. Liverpool is going to be here long after I'm gone.
Yeah,
so I got to make sure I'm doing
Uncle
the right
Albert,
thing.
you know what it is? You know what it is? He got late night gas station set.
Talk to me,
That's what
boss.
it is. Me and him gonna talk offline.
All right, you know what? No. I'll talk online, and just so the people them know, I'm not saying I'm a changed man, but I've put myself in a changed environment where the gas station closed at 7 p.m. How you like that? There's no gas station open past 7 p.m. where I'm at now. So
That's good. That's a good thing.
I might not be a changed man, but I'm in a changed environment.
I see Pops out here trying to start a trouble. But I'm just saying, a lot of you saw it on Friday. Certain people were not doing certain things right. But we will see. Wednesday, everybody will watch it. It's a very hard opponent. So we will see if the ones that we're impressed with can do the same thing.
Do we have any expectations for Arsenal?
They want to win.
They should just go from second to second. Do the electric slide.
I just want my guys to play well. If we win, yes. If not, let's see what we can do, because Manu will be a couple days after. But Pops, it seems like you are very, very defensive about your boy being exposed. I didn't expose him. It's the Kennel who just gave the stat. So don't bring your heat on me. Talk to the Kennel. But big up to Belgian Barnes coming through. Uncle Albert, I appreciate you. Jamie came in. G was here. And of course, K-Mark. So people, go to Mandem's channels. I will put it in the content area so that you could just click it and go there. Please subscribe to all their channels, like their content, like my content. Remember, 21 is the limit. So we are almost there. I hope we did get to 300, but I haven't checked. So I hope by the time we're done with the show, we got to 300 and we set a new goal. So big up to everybody who showed up. Barnes, you guys have a show coming up?
Yeah, the boys doing the watch along. I will be vlogging from the arena for that day. So yeah, stay tuned for that. Hopefully run into Grizz and those guys down there. We'll see.
They're gonna come there? They're in LA right now.
Yeah, but then
I think they're flying out
Philly
today, probably, or tomorrow.
They head into Philly. So yeah, but there's a lot of other content creators gonna be there. So 12 Pound will be there as well. So we will be doing a couple of stuff over there. So it should be fun. But yeah, the boys,
who's doing the watch along? Who's doing the watch along on your channel?
Well, on our channel is shot, and it's my channel. Let me just make that clear. Zabir, I see what you're doing. Pops and Crab doing the watch along.
Nah, because I need to know who I'm pulling up on, because obviously me and you are good. So you know what I'm saying?
The man is coming up.
I just don't want to shoot up that house and hit you by accident. That's all I'm saying.
I got bulletproof vests, don't worry, not glass.
No, but me and you were good. I like the fact you came in and said, Zabir, watch them lose shots. I got it. And not one of them. The other man, them, I need to check Angel temperature as well, because I don't want to shoot him.
Angel say he's a changed man. We're going to be positive now.
Okay.
Okay, people, take care.
Big up to everybody, man.
Big up everyone, man.
Cheers.